Here with Beth. Yes, on this side. No, this side. Yeah, that way. Hi, Beth. Tonight we are not going to be sewing. We're actually going to work on crocheting. So here's what's happened over the past few weeks. I dabbled in the world of crochet thanks to my sister and mom while they were visiting. And what would be great is if I turned off the volume on my video. That would be great because I can hear it in my ear. Anyway, I dabbled with crochet several weeks ago, and I did it on a live stream for the first time in many, many years, and I have become addicted. It is just so relaxing to just sit with the yarn in one hand, a hook in the other, and just go. And I don't know why it has taken off now and it didn't then, but it has. And so I've been making washcloths and I'm tired of making those. And so then I started making face scrubbies and I got tired of making those. And so I've been texting other content creators to find ways that we can collab. And I told Beth, because she got really excited when she saw me doing this, she's like, "You need to do Amigurumi." I was like, "Amagu what?" So she was like, "No, you got." I knew what it was, but we talked back and forth. I was like, "You know what would be great is if we did a live stream, just the two of us, and we just crocheted." And she was like, "And we can do amigurumi." I'm like, "Is that? I think that's all she knows how to do, but that's okay." So Beth is my co-host tonight. We are going to sit here and crochet. And for those of you that don't know Beth, meet Beth. She is behind the channel Goody Goods, GUDEGOODS, and you'll see her brand on the screen right now. So if you're watching on the Becca channel, welcome. Make sure you're subscribed down below. This is her channel brand, all the yellow. This is her, and this video is actually being streamed on her channel as well. And the replays will be available on both of our channels. So this is a way for people to get to know me from her channel, but also for all of you to get to know her a little bit more. And the best way you can show a content creator that you like them and you want to support them is to go over to their channel, click that little red subscribe button and make it gray, and then click the bell off to the right of it. She's sitting at just about 369 subscribers tonight, and I would love it if we could end the live stream by 10 p.m. tonight with her at or over 500. I think that would make my day. So let's see if we can make that happen. If you want the link for her channel, there are two ways that you can do it. All the way up at the top of the chat. I think I put it, but it's not pinned. But even more importantly, the bot has a link to her channel. If you do exclamation GUDE, that's all you need to type. No spaces, no nothing, and hit enter. The bot's going to give you, in my channel, at Becca's channel, if you type that in my live chat, it's going to give you a link to her channel. Just hop over there, click that little subscribe button. I promise you, it's going to make her day, it's going to make my day, and it's going to make your day. Okay.
Thank you.
Plug done.
Thank you.
So I am ready to get started. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm really excited.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have only crocheted things that are flat. I have never made them three-dimensional. So you're going to have to walk me through this. But this is what I'm going to do for you. You walk me through this, and I will take care of reading comments to you so you don't have to worry about what's on the screen. Just focus on me, teach me how to do this, and, by nature of teaching me, teach everybody else on the world.
Okay.
But teach me how to do this, and then I'll keep the content coming in front of you. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, let's do it.
I did include the link in the description, and I made a post. So I have it printed out, and we'll just go through it. I do want to say this pattern is by HookedbyRobin, and it's a free pattern on her blog, so I just wanted to give her credit. And you sent me a picture the other week, and you did something circular. So we're going to start with what you did there, and we're just going to build upon that. Yeah. See, if you got that down, that's the perfect start to making this little guy, because that's the face that I see when you show me that. So it's perfect.
Okay. So when I started that, this was flat, and I used the magic circle technique from Melanie Ham to make this. So she was using half double crochets. Is that what I do?
We're going to be using single crochets. So, instead of the half, it's a little bit easier. You're just going to go through, yarn over, and then you're going to pull it do you know how to do a single crochet?
I sure do. And we'll walk them through it when we get there.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Becca is using a variegated or an ombre yarn, so she's not gonna have to change colors. But I'll be doing yellow and black. So I'm gonna start with my yellow, and then we'll go to the black when the stripes come. Okay,
Okay.
so the first thing that we're gonna do is we are gonna do a magic ring, and we are gonna do 6 single crochets into that magic ring. So
Okay. So let me get set up here. Let me show them what the magic ring is, okay?
Yes.
Okay. This is how I did it. Correct me if I'm doing it wrong.
Okay. Well,
So
there's plenty of ways
we've
to.
got our I'm trying to find where I'm in the camera. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? There it is. So I grab my piece of yarn and I pull it over my hand like this. This
Mhm.
is how I learned from Melanie Ham's video. So all the credit goes to Melanie Ham, RIP. All right, we pull this over in front of us so that the cut end is facing towards us. And then we have the yarn that's attached to our ball hanging back behind these 2 fingers. And then we pull it up and make an X over the front and then weave it back this way. And then we pull this piece through. Did I do that right?
Yes, I believe so. I use a different technique.
Show me
Um,
yours.
so it's a little bit easier. I'm not wrapping it over my whole hand. I wish I had a second camera like you do, but
It'll be
so
fine.
here's the working yarn, here's the tail. So I put the working yarn to the left of me, and I take this strand, and what I do is I wrap it twice around my finger like this. See how there's 2 right there?
Okay.
And then, oh, hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So you'll hold you'll hold this tail in between your fingers here to like keep it secure, to keep that tension. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your crochet hook and you are going to slide it underneath those 2, and you're going to grab this working yarn, pull it underneath those 2 like that. And then you're going to like do a thumbs up. Bring your thumb up, and you're going to grab this yarn and pull it through that loop that you made.
Okay, hold on. But I saw 3 strands around your fingers. So I needed to do something different. So I've got 3
Oh,
strands around I've got the first one just laying in my hand
yep.
and I'm going to hold it with my thumb. And then I have 2 strands going around my first 2 fingers, just like
Yes.
this.
Yes.
And this piece is attached
Yep.
to my ball. So I'm going to bring that through and just hold it with my pinky so it's out of the way.
Yes.
Now I'm going to put my hook right here through both of the first 2 loops and grab this one that's not connected to anything and pull it through. And then when I do that thumbs up thing, all that's doing is flicking this to the back. Is that right?
Yes, and it's pulling up this yarn, the working yarn, so that you can take that piece and pull it through the loop that you made by pulling that through the first time. Does that make sense?
Not really, but let's keep going.
Well, you
I
you
this
set up the way
this
that
is
Melanie Am taught you. Do that.
this gave me the same thing though.
Oh,
This is the
perfect,
same result that I would have done before. So
perfect.
let me
So
show you the Melanie Ham way again, just to be safe in case anybody else wants it. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. We're going to take the yarn where it's cut, put it in front of our 2 fingers, pull it around once and then twice. And then we're just going to take a little loop, put it off to the left back here, and then tuck it under just like that. And then I put my hook through. That's how
perfect,
I've done the magic ring in the past. It looks exactly the same the way you did it.
perfect. And keep your hook in there. And so now we're going to
Mhm.
do our 6 single crochets into that circle that you made. So you're going to go under those 2 strands, and you're going to pull your yarn, and then you're going to yarn over,
I keep going over.
and
Okay.
that's 1.
So I'm going to go to do a single crochet. We're going to go into the circle. We're going to pick up the yarn that is attached to our ball.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go? Here it is. And then we're going to pull it back through the hoop.
And then yarn over.
Yarn over. This is really finicky with a single crochet. It wants to just keep unraveling.
I
I've done
find
the
There might be a way to where you can put it on your fingers. So you see how I have my circle? It's wrapped around these 2 fingers. That gives me a
Mm-hmm.
good grip where I can go under that yarn, and the tension
Mm-hmm.
keeps it tight to where it's not unraveling, like you're saying. So maybe find a way to pop it on your fingers like this, and then you can go under your 2 yarns, pull under, and then yarn over.
Okay, hold on. I've got my circle.
And if the magic
I'm going to
ring
tighten
is
this up.
giving us anyone problems, if anyone in the chat is also doing this along with us, there's a way to get around doing the magic ring if it's difficult. And I believe you can just chain 2 and then you would single crochet into that second chain 6 times, and that would give you
It's
a mock or a faux magic ring.
I'm sorry, but I've got to do the half double crochet because the single crochet, it gets really sloppy for me when I'm starting out. So I'm going to wrap it around. So I'm going to show you this is how I did those circles. I can single crochet into everything after it, but to start the magic ring, I need the half double crochet. So I'm going
Okay.
to lay the yarn that's cut in my hand like this. I'm going to pull it back under the 2 fingers, up and over. I'm going to make a little loop that's going to go across. This yarn's going to go across and it's going to come back. And then this little loop that goes over, I'm going to tuck under the piece that was on my finger. And that's the loop that I'm going to put my hook in. I'm going to pull on the yarn that's attached to my ball. And now what I do is I yarn over once. And I don't know why I have to yarn over for this to work for me. I just do. This is going to feel sloppy until you get your stitches in, and that's okay. I yarn over once, and then I go into the circle, yarn over again, pull it up. Got to get my thread tensioned here. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull it through all 3. So that's 1, yarn over, into the circle, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and that is 2. We're going to do that 4 more times. Yarn over, into the circle, yarn over, pull through the circle, yarn over through all 3. That's number 3. This is number 4. I'm sorry, Beth. I couldn't get the other way.
No, you're fine. There's many ways to do something, so it's good that there's some different options out there. You'll have to tell me, because I haven't done a lot of half double crochet. So when you're done at your 6, we'll count your stitches, and will it be 6 or will it be 12?
Yeah.
Okay, it will be
No,
6.
I'm going to do 6.
Okay, perfect.
It's basically like a double crochet, but it's not.
Only does 1 stitch.
Yeah.
That'll
This
work.
feels really...
Out of here. Be gone.
We can't work with that yarn. The texture's off. I can't see what I'm doing. We're going to, one more time. How many people are laughing at me?
No laughing. Let me read the... Nancy said the magic ring never works for me.
Do you want to show them the non-magic ring way?
Yes.
Because that might be easier.
I believe it's chain 2, and then let me double check.
Okay. So while you're checking, I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to try to do this the non-magic ring way so we're not losing people.
Yeah, it took me forever to get the magic ring. I watched so many videos, and my husband was just watching me kind of throw a tantrum every time. Like, I can't get it. I'm never going to get it.
I can do it, but it's still a very new thing for me. Ellen says she has always chained 3.
Okay, chain 3.
Beth, chain 3. Everybody's saying chain 3.
All right, well, chain 3, and then
can do that.
Put 6 single crochets into the second chain.
Yep. So I think it's 2 into each one. So we chain 1. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. And then don't we From here, do we go into the first chain and slip stitch?
2, 3. With the 3, you would go into the second chain, I believe, and single crochet into that. Tracy says to start, I think, chain 3, link them together, and then 6 single crochet. So this pattern, you can definitely alter it. It goes in the round, so you can either do it that way and then join before each round, or you can do, I believe, 6 of the single crochets into the second chain. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so
I
did a single crochet into the second. Am I doing 6 single crochets into that same stitch?
Yes, into the second one.
Okay.
I believe so.
That's 1. This is 2. This is 3. Oops. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. Now, for those that don't know what a single crochet is, let me break that down for you. You're going to find the stitch that you're going to put your hook into. You're going to put it through that stitch. You'll yarn over, meaning you'll cross the yarn on top of your hook and pull it through. And then you'll end up with 2 pieces of yarn on your hook like this. And then you'll yarn over and pull that yarn through those 2 loops that are on your hook. And once you yarn over to pull it through the stitch, and then you yarn over to pull it through the 2. And once you've done that, then you have your single crochet done. Ellen says, I put 10 stitches in my first hole and then tie off.
Well, if you do the chain 3 and you do 6 single crochets into the second chain from your hook, it'll give you this, which very closely resembles the magic circle. And we're not going to join every end, so you're not going to have to go into the next stitch and then chain 1. You're going to treat the first one after this. So the one that I'm going to do after that, I'm going to go in and do a single crochet, and then I would mark that as my first stitch of the round. Does that make sense?
I think so. So I'm going into the next stitch right here. So I'm looking at my little ring. I'm going into my stitch, yarning over, pulling through, and yarning over and pulling through 2, and that's a single crochet. Was that right?
Are you doing half double still?
No. I wasn't doing that. I was doing single all the time.
Okay. So you'll go into the next stitch, you'll put your hook through, then you'll yarn over, pull through that, and then you'll yarn over again and pull through. And then that stitch that right at the bottom of your hook, that's stitch 1. So you can take your safety clip or a bobby pin or a stitch counter or whatever you have, and you can slip your stitch marker onto that stitch. Okay. And a great way to check it is then you can count the stitches. So you can count the next stitch from where your hook is in right now, where you're going to go next. Count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your stitch counter should be in the 6th one. Do you see that?
Oh, I put it on the hoop that was on. Yep, hold on. Let's try that again. I think I went into the wrong stitch. I do this all the time when I joined. So here we go. Let me try this one more time. Hold on. We're going to go over here, see, into the stitch, yarn over, pull it through the stitch, yarn over, pull it through the 2 that are on my hook. Perfect. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I was in the right one because that's only 5 left. So, oh goodness, I feel like I'm.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Once we get this first part down, this is the hardest part. Then we're just going to be focusing on doing single crochets, and we're going to just be taking our stitch counter off and on each round. That's it. This is the hardest part, I promise.
Okay.
Once we get it, then we're going to be good. We're going to be golden.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So wait. 1, 2, whatever. Let's just go.
Okay.
I think I got it right.
All right, so then you're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over again, pull through. And that's, so now you should see, so that's your second stitch that you've done. You should see your stitch counter, and then there should be another, like another stitch on top of it. So you have 1, 2, you've done 2. So you're always putting your stitch counter on the first stitch of the round.
The stitch counter is new to me and it's causing me confusion.
Don't think about it as counting. A stitch marker. It's just showing where your first stitch was. So when we make it all the way around, we're going to know, okay, that's the start of the next round, because some rounds have different stitches in. So we'll see that as we go forward. I don't want to scare you or anything, but it's a great way to know where you're at. All right, so then easy peasy, we're going to go into the next stitch. Go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through again. That is your third stitch of this round. No, okay. Do we want to restart? Are you good?
No, just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going.
So then we're going to go into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through. And that is our fourth one. So you can like grab your little stitch counter, and then you'll see 4 stitches. Are you okay? What can we do? What can we do different?
I'm not, we're not touching the stitch counter. You keep, oh, Tracy said, chill, Becca, you're ahead of her. Oh, okay. I'm stopping. Okay. I was like, what do you mean the second stitch? I'm already done.
Oh, you already went all the way around. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were going stitch by stitch. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go.
It's okay. No. Keep going. Keep going. Do your thing. Do your thing. I was wondering why I wasn't measuring up. I was like,
my bad.
I'll just take a sip of coffee. We'll wait here for you. Catch up.
All right. So now we're going to take our stitch marker out. And this first round, or the second round, I guess, if you count the magic ring as first, we're going to do increases all the way around. An increase is 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So you're going to do it twice into 1 stitch.
Okay. I can do that. I remember that. So single. And the way I remember doing this, when I'm gotta get you in the camera. The way I remember doing this is I start over every time I'm done with that. So this round I'm doing 2, right? So I do 1, and then after I put that one, I count 2. And now I know that was 2 into that one because I'm always restarting my counting. So the next stitch I count 1, pull, and then I count 2.
Yes. Sorry, I started over because the weird chain 6 into the second one was goofing me up.
That's all right. That's all right. How many times are we going to start over tonight? I think we should have a counter for it.
Oh, a frog counter. Who wants to do the frogging?
Rabbit. 1, 2. I do feel like when I'm doing these, I've gotten pretty good at eyeballing where the round starts and finishes. So if you can take a look, it's really hard because the lighting hasn't washed out, but you can kind of see the shape of it changes a little bit. Let's see if we can get this in here a little. Come on. There we go. So up here where my hook is at the top, it's a little bit flatter, and this piece back here where my thumb is a little bit rounder. And so I just watch the shape of it. You can see it more pronounced that way. I've been kind of doing it by eye, and that's probably not the right way to do it.
I lose track. I cannot count like in my head because usually when I'm crocheting, I'm hanging out with the family. Like it's my thing to do away from the sewing machine. And so there's always like loud noises everywhere. And so whenever I try to count, if I don't have a stitch counter, I end up frogging all the time. I'm just like, I don't know where I was.
I don't have that problem.
You've got your cello music in the background keeping you zen.
I do. I have the ability to just zen out while I'm doing this. So that's That's something I am blessed with. So now my piece is, again, it's a little washed out, so I apologize, but my shape is nice and round, right?
Yep.
Out there. So I know that this is finished. I'm going
Yep.
to try and turn down some of these lights and see if that will help a little bit.
And if you do the magic round, if you don't do the chain 3 and then single crochet into the second chain from the hook and you do the magic ring, after your first round is a good time to kind of tug on that working yarn. It's like you're closing up the hole, so you're going to yank it really tight and you'll see that your circle right there is closed. So when you do that. So it's always good to do that after your first round, because if you do it too soon, then you wouldn't be able to work into those stitches as well.
And somebody asked, what is the benefit to the magic ring? They had never heard of it. The magic ring allows you to do this, but it allows it to be a little bit loose. And then you end up with a thread at the back side that you can tug. And after you've connected your ring, you pull it and it makes it really taut for you. Okay, so let me guess what we're going to do next. Are we
All right.
going to do 3, 2 into 1, and then 1 into 1, and then 2 into 1, and then 1 into 1? Are we going to continue to increase?
Close. Yes, you're very close.
Okay.
So you might have exactly said what I'm going to say, but you're going to do, so this whole next round says single crochet increase times 6. So you're going to do 1 single crochet, that's your first stitch. Then you're going to do an increase, so 2 single crochets into the next, then single crochet, and then increase, single crochet, increase. So you should do that all the way around.
Okay, good. So what that means is this time all the way around, I'm going to count 3 and then reset. My 1 is always going to go into a stitch by itself. So I'm going to go into this first stitch that I haven't done anything with, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's single crochet 1. So that's 1. Now 2 and 3 are going to be buddies into the next stitch together. So I'm going to single crochet 2, single crochet 3. Now I've counted to 3 and I'm going to start my count over in the next stitch. So 1 is solo. He always hangs out by himself. 2 and 3 are married forever into this stitch. 2 and 3. And we're just going to do that all the way around. And get some yarn off of my spool here. Polly said she's been making toys for years. And one of the things that I try to do so I don't lose count of this is I do my 3 stitches before I will stop and readjust. I always make sure I get my 3 done. 2.
That's a good idea.
3. That way I never have to worry about where I left off. So that was 3. Now if I needed to stop and readjust, I could. Go ahead.
I always, once you're nearing the end of your round, so the step says single crochet increase. So you know that at the end of your round, you should have ended on an increase. So if you are on a single crochet, then that's a good time to look back and frog it to your first stitch and try again. And it happens all the time. I get very distracted, and sometimes if you're not paying attention, you'll have to frog a lot. But make sure when you're looking at a pattern, if it ends on an increase and it says times 6, like whatever stitch it ends on in the directions, you should be ending on that stitch. If not, then you probably flubbed up. 1,
2 and 3. All right. And that was an increase, and I feel like I'm all the way around. So I'm good to go. I'm ready for the next one. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to wait for you to catch up. You can see my piece is starting to get very circular. Again, it's washed out because of the camera. There we go. There.
That's cool to see what a half double crochet versus a single crochet. Yours has some really cool texture in there.
Wait. I go through, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet, isn't it? I don't yarn over before I go in. I go into the stitch, pull it through the stitch, and then yarn over and pull through 2. That's a single crochet, I thought.
I believe so. Well,
Yeah.
are you saying you yarn over before you go in?
No,
No,
after.
okay. So yeah,
So,
then you're doing it.
yep, because the half double crochet, I would yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull it through the stitch. So I'd have more on I'd
Yeah.
have 3 on there. So no, I only have 2.
So at the end of
Okay.
this round, if we did it correctly, we should have 18 stitches. So you can count back. You can just
1,
count.
2. So this is how Melanie taught me to do it. I count the V's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Perfect.
but that's fine.
That's perfect. You're right where you should be. So the next round is going to be similar, but we're going to do you are. We're going to do 2 single crochets, then increase. So you're going to go 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. The way you're counting it are going to be married this time.
Yep. So 1 is by himself and 2 is by himself. 1, 2. And now 3 and 4 are going to go into this stitch together. 3 and 4. I got my 4 started. I need more yarn. Do the yarn stretch.
Hug it.
Good grief. Okay, that's 4. Now I'm going to go into my next stitch. This is just going to be 1 by himself. 1. Get in there. It fell off the hook. Get back over here. 1. 2 is by himself. 3 and 4 are bunk bed buddies. 3 and 4. All right, keep going. 1. Whoop, whoop. 2.
I love your sound effects. These are so fun.
You're welcome. 3, I guess. 4. You're going to really love them when I start catapulting this across the room.
Hey, just breathe. I should have brought the one that I made. My first one was pretty rough. I was like, okay, I need to go get a bumblebee to bring down here. And I was going to bring Zoe's, but hers is just rough. So I was like, maybe not. We'll bring the second one that I did. It's a little bit better. Not perfect by any means, but she's also torn her bumblebee almost apart. Like her wings are falling off. So maybe this one I'll give to Zoe so she can tear it apart too.
Oh my goodness. We're ending on an increase, right?
Yes.
So the last stitch in this round should have 2 in it.
Yes. And then if you want to count, if you're already done, you'll count 24 if all went accordingly.
We'll find out. I think I have just a few more stitches to do. 2. This should be the last one. 3, 4. Trying to make sure I keep the. No, I got 3 more. So 1, 2, and I need to do 3 and 4. Burp, 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 burp. 3 and 4. I think I still have those to do too because those look flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that stitch marker, had we kept up with that, what that's going to tell me is where I start and stop so I don't have to think.
Yeah.
Hello, so Kathy.
There
we go. I know I'm good here.
Here's my hook, and then here's my marker. So that's saying that's the start of the next round. So that's the first. That's stitch number 1. The stitch number 1. Yours looks good. Are you getting more
Now my
comfortable? Is it feeling
I
better now that
am.
it's a little bit bigger too? It's better to hold on to.
Yeah, I am, and I normally do about this time. Like this is very comfortable to me because I've been making this. What I'm
Yeah.
nervous about is this is flat. Should this be bowing up?
It will. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 more rounds, and
Okay,
then
just
we'll
to increase.
see it start forming its shape. So the next round, so we did 2 single crochet increase. Do you have any guesses on what this next round's gonna be?
3 single
3!
crochet increase.
Ding, ding, ding. Yep, we're gonna do 3 single crochet increase, and then at the end of that round, we'll have 30 stitches. So
Okay. So we're going to follow by counting to 5. 1, 2, and 3 are by themselves. 1, 2, 3. And then into this 4th stitch, we're going to do 4 and 5. This is 4. Hold it down here so you can see a little bit better. And this is 5. Now we're going to start that counting over. And if I wanted to, I could go back and put a stitch marker to make this easier, but I feel like I've been doing okay.
yeah,
My method, this is how I learned. This is just how I'm going to keep going.
I'm afraid to say anything while you're counting because I don't want to
You're
mess
okay.
you up or anything.
You're okay. That's 1. This is 2. This is 3. Now 4 and 5 go in the same stitch together. And when I go into those stitches, in case you are new to crochet, I'm actually going underneath the V. So I'm going underneath both of those strands of yarn. That confused me when I first started. I didn't understand. I thought I
Yeah.
had to stab it from the top. So
Yeah, and
1,
in some amigurumi patterns that'll come in handy because some of them will say back loop only, single crochet into the back loop, and that'll like give you a different shape to what you're working on. It'll make it come up or come down. 1, 2, 3.
5. I'm going to start my next set of 5 after I take a sip of coffee. I'm going to set her down and just let you guys enjoy looking at that beautifulness.
This is fun. My hands are really sweaty, just letting everybody know. Yarn, I like that quilting does not make my hands like super hot.
I don't have that problem. I was like, really? Your hands sweat from working with yarn?
Yeah,
I've
well, I
never
think
heard of that.
I don't know what it is, but when I play like video games when I was younger, Xbox controllers and stuff like that, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what it is, but my hands just get so hot.
All right. Well, sorry.
We
I'm
learned
not
something
sure
every
what to
day.
say. You do. Sweaty
It's fun.
palms when you're working with yarn. Got it. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I got to say crunch. Crunch. 1, 2, 3, crunch. And then 4 and 5 go into here.
It's always a relief once I get to that last stitch and I'm actually on the right thing. I'm like, oh, we've made it to another day.
2,
It's getting better.
3. See, what I like about working with this cotton yarn is that when I get to the point where I got to start making it a 3-dimensional object, if I don't like it, I can just turn it into another face scrubby.
It works out. A cute
4.
little face scrubby with wings and eyeballs.
It's a loofah. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5.
And I didn't know this when I started amigurumi, but there's an inside and an outside. So you'll see
Oh,
this is what your outside should look like. So usually you'll have to like flip it. So this is what you want on the outside, and then this is the wrong side. This is the
oh,
inside. your shape. This is the right side of your shape. It doesn't matter if you like the texture of the inside, you can always do that one. But this is what amigurumiers say is the right side out.
Well, listen, this is my sewing room and I will do what I want and it's going to be okay.
No quilt
There are
police.
no rules here. No
Police.
crochet police, no quilt police.
Watching a video and I was like,
Listen.
oh, there's an inside and outside? Well, interesting. So it's really cool to see, because I'm by no means an amigurumi expert. I've done a few different things, but I like watching crochet videos and stuff when I'm not doing quilting, because it's just cool. Like, it makes my brain think in ways that it's not thinking when I'm doing quilting. It's fun. Oh, my sister's in the chat. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, Ashley. Do your hands sweat too?
She did. She said, sweaty hands all the time. And feet, lol. It must be genetic.
There you go. 2, 3. So I had an interesting thing happen today after I put in 4 and 5, because this is my end of this increase, I think. The shape looks like it's a full circle now.
Perfect.
So I am going to just stop and look. No, I think that is. How many stitches? Oh, it feels like I have a flat ridge right here. So let me do, yeah, I do. I got to do one more set of 5.
30 stitches when you're all done.
Sounds good. We're just going to go.
We're just winging it. We're winging it. It's the perfect pattern.
It's fine.
Wings. It's gonna have 2 wings too. It's gonna be good.
It's fine. Listen, I'm just making a fabric bowl. I don't know what you're doing. This is the end for. So
I really think I should get Zoe's bumblebee. I'll send a picture of it tomorrow to you, and you'll be like, okay, that could have been a really good face scrubby.
It's a great face scrubby. We're done. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
That looks so good. That looks a lot better than what mine was when I started, and I frogged 1,000 times. You haven't frogged once. Knock on wood.
Well,
so
that's only because I've done this 100,000 times already.
You've got the three power. Here we go. You got it. All right. So the next round is another round of increases. Oh no!
Before we do the next round, let me tell you my story.
Okay.
Another round of increases, though, so it means you're going to count 6. So if you want to go ahead, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 go in a row by themselves. So start crocheting. I will catch up. All right. So my daughter, we moved to this area, and Zoe, we had been driving her to and from school every single day. And because that's what she wanted. And then a few weeks ago, she came home from school and said, oh, hey, I want to ride the bus home. By the way, I'm crocheting now. And we said, okay. So we called the school and we worked it out with transportation. And they drop her off at the end of our driveway, which is great. And Jason usually meets her down there and it's all good. Well, on Monday, we had a really bad storm and her bus got delayed because of all the downed trees and the bad weather and stuff. And she ended up getting home at like 5 o'clock instead of 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today it's like 4:30. She's still not home. She usually gets home at 4:30. Their school ends at 4. It's like 4:30. She's not home. 4:35. Still no Zoe. 4:40. Still no Zoe. So we're like, okay, she's 10 or 15 minutes late. About 4:45, Jason comes over and he's like, have you heard from the school? Zoe's not home. Normally she's here, but between 4:25 and 4:30. And I was like, oh, no, I haven't. Have you? He said no. So normally she walks the driveway on her own because she's 11 and she can.
Yeah.
So we walked to the end of the driveway and we sat down. I sat down there and waited for about 10 or 15 minutes. And at 4:40, 4:55, maybe it was 4:50. I called the school because I hadn't seen the bus. She wasn't there. Nobody answered. So then I called the bus dispatch place and nobody answered. So I left a message, and then I called the school and left a message, and nobody called me back. And so I sat there very patiently and very calmly because I know she's probably on the bus and something happened to the bus. But there's always the what if, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
always the what if something happened. And she does have a cell phone, but today she didn't take it with her because the battery was dead this morning. So it was sitting on my desk charging, which really wasn't going to help me get in touch with my daughter. So I'm standing down there. I was like, well, at 5:00, if she's not home at 5:00 on the dot, then I will make a phone call. And at 5:00 on the dot, I hadn't heard from anybody, and she wasn't home at 5:00. Now she's half an hour late. So I called the police.
I would, well, yeah. And
I did I did not call 911. I knew enough to not panic, and I called the police department and I said my daughter is normally home by 4:30. It is a little after 5, just a couple minutes after 5. The bus, I don't know if the bus has been here and didn't drop her off or if the bus just hasn't come yet, but I have called the school and nobody's answering. And I did call dispatch and left a message. Nobody answered the phone and nobody's called me back. And I really just don't know what to do from here. Can you help me? And so the dispatcher took all of the things that you would think she would take just in case the worst case happens and we can't find her, description, all the things. And in the meantime, she's sending a police officer to our home. The police officer shows up. They sent a squad car over to the elementary school to look for her, and they have a special number. Thank God they have a special number that goes straight to the bus dispatch, and people there actually answer that line. And so they call, and dispatch radioed the bus while all of these things were happening all simultaneously in the space of like 10 minutes, right? So the officer shows up at our home and he starts searching the woods. Like he's starting to walk down the driveway to search the woods with Jason just to make sure she didn't get off the bus and go play in the woods somewhere, right?
yeah.
So they're starting to walk down the driveway, and there's a squad car on the way to the school, and somebody at dispatch is calling the bus depot to get in touch with the bus driver of Zoe's bus. Zoe was on the bus. It got stuck in construction for 45 minutes.
Is there a way that like the bus driver can call the school and the school can like send out a mass email to all the parents so that
Like,
parents think their kids are
sorry.
What?
Yes, that is a failure of communication, because if Zoe had her cell phone with me or with her, I could have called her, I could have seen where she was, it would have been okay. I can understand being 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes late, but by the time she got home, it was an hour late. An hour late. And there was like I kept myself calm. I think we did a very good job. I think we did very good. But yeah, like what if that would have been a first grader?
Oh my.
What if that would have been a first grader?
Anybody.
Well, like a first grader, a kindergartner doesn't have a cell phone with them.
Yeah.
She's a fifth grader. So it's a little bit different. But what if that would have been a really little kid? Like what I would have been freaking out, especially if I was a first time mom. So while as the officer that responded to the call was walking the driveway with my husband, I saw them get halfway up to the house and they stopped, and I could tell he was talking on the walkie, and they came back and he said she was on the bus and everything was fine. And so I was like, okay, we're good. So I went up and I got in the car and I drove to the end of the driveway, and I sat there, and like as soon as I got to the end of the driveway, the bus pulled up, picked her up. We went and got Chick-fil-A. We usually do something fun for dinner on Friday night. So we went and got Chick-fil-A for dinner. And as soon as like she saw me, she got in the car and she rode with me to pick up the Chick-fil-A. And she looked at me and I was like, she goes, I can't remember what she said. Oh, I said, you need to remember to charge your phone and take it with you to school every day. Because when you are late from school, I want to know where, if you are not home, I need to know where you are. And it's not responsible of you to not keep your device charged. So you need to do a better job with that. And she was like, okay. And I told her, I was like, I had no clue where you were at 5:00. So I called the cops. And she went, did you really? I was like, oh yeah, there were cops looking for you.
Mm.
So
You
anyway,
tell the story to her, and like when she has kids in 20 however many years, and she's gonna understand. But like I remember sometimes I would be like coming home, and we didn't have cell phones for a while growing up, and my parents would be just freaking out. And now that I'm a parent, if that would have happened to me, I would have called the cops. My heart would just be like boom, 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 boom. Like it's a kid. And why is the school not communicating? They have to have some sort of way. What if
they
there was like an
do.
storm, or if the thing rolled over on? How would they know? How would they?
They absolutely have a way of letting us know, because on Monday, when the weather was bad, there was a very bad thunderstorm that rolled through the area literally when the kids got let out of school. And so all the parents that are signed up for text alerts got an alert on their phone that said, "We are holding the kids at school until the storm clears." So
Mhm.
everybody knew that things were going to be messed up and not to worry.
Yeah.
So there is, the technology does exist to alert parents.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it does. You can alert all of them, some of them, whatever. There just wasn't a process. Or
Yeah.
if there was a process, it broke down and that message did not get communicated back to parents. And I think that's a failure. So I'll
Yeah.
send an email. I'll send an email over to the principal on Monday. And it doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be rude. But I worried a little bit. I kept myself calm. I think I was okay. And thank God everything worked out just fine. But you know, I'm not even thinking about like all the things that could have been bad, but what if she had plans or a doctor's appointment or something at 5:30 or 6 o'clock? I would have had no clue
Yeah.
when to expect her, what was going on, like none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Ugh,
yeah.
that's every parent's nightmare. That sounds
Yep.
terrible.
Quilting in Romania says my 4-year-old daughter has an Apple AirTag on a necklace. That's funny because I told Zoe when she got in the car I was going to staple an AirTag to her forehead if she didn't turn her phone on. But all of this is just a payback, though. My mom's in the chat and she will probably remember this. There was a time when I was younger, and I have 2 sisters and a brother, and we were going to church, my mom wasn't, and so the church bus would come and pick all of us up, take us to church, and then bring us home. Well, when we got to church this Sunday, some of the folks were talking about there was a picnic at the park, a church picnic at the park after service, and the church bus was going to go to the picnic. And they asked us if we wanted to go. And so, we're a bunch of elementary school, I think, like I was like 5th or 6th grade. So I was like Zoe's age. I was like, yeah, we can go do that. Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's go get some free food and play in the playground, right? And so we go. My mom's waiting for us to come home from church at 12 o'clock and we never show up. And then like an hour or 2 hours later, here we come. Where were you? At the park. What? So like I can appreciate it. And I feel like that was just payback. So
I'm not ready. I'm so scared for all of
you'll be
those
okay.
crazy things to happen. Ugh.
Well, just keep in mind that when stuff like that happens, 99% of the time, it's completely nothing. And that's what I was telling myself, right? 99% of the time, the kid's just stuck on the bus and the bus is stuck somewhere. It's not
Yeah.
really something bad. Or the kid did something stupid and decided to go to a friend's house.
Mm.
It's just that 1% of the time makes you freak out.
Yeah. The unexpected part of it too. Like obviously you
Yep.
never expect them to not come home or be late or whatever, but that's what gets me. It just happens out of the blue
Mm.
any day. It could happen. I cannot believe
Yep.
that communication broke down though. That's so scary. I wonder
That's
if there's
okay.
any other parents that called. Maybe I don't know. When did you get a phone? Did you have a cell phone in school? Like
Beth, honey,
why are
cell
you
phones
laughing?
did not exist when I was in school.
Uh, we
when did I get my first cell phone? I was like 19 and it was big. We had pagers in high school.
Oh
I'm pretty old. And if you were really lucky, you had the one that was connected to a voice service where you could leave words and they would scroll on top of the
my
pager.
gosh. We had flip phones. My dad and my mom got a flip phone for emergencies only, and we figured out how to text on that bad boy. And it was like with the numbers, where it was like you have to click it like 3 times to get to T, and we would text people, and we got in so much trouble because I think back then it was like every text is like 7 cents or 70 cents or something, and we were just texting away.
Dime a text message. Yep.
My dad was so livid. He was like, okay, this is not being used for emergency use. So he took it away. But I didn't get a cell phone until I was like probably freshman, maybe 8th grade.
Oh, look at you. See, age difference just got told.
Hey, I don't even, age is just a number.
Crud.
I'm like completely out of the loop.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. I just had to frog because I lost count. You made me laugh.
I need to be a picture because frogging, oh my gosh.
By the way, frogging is ribbit. You rip your stitches. That's why she's saying frogging.
Is that why it's called frogging?
Yeah, ribbit. Rip it.
I thought they came up with a fun word for it so it wouldn't suck as bad. But that makes
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I got the right response for that. Are you ready? Bless your heart. Bless your heart. I just lost count again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try again.
That makes sense. Yeah, I hear things and it's just like, oh, that's a fun thing, and I never really question why. Like, why is it called that? I'm like, I'm frogging because everybody else calls it frogging. And now knowing the reason why it's called that is so cute.
Ribbit. 4. 5 and 6. We finally got past the synchronous. Let's celebrate with man, I'm so thirsty that I am gulping this coffee. So I'm gonna stop. That is 6 stitches. I'm gonna go get some ice water. So I will be, yep. I'm not connected to any cord. So I'm not gonna get pulled and yanked down on my bottom. Be right back.
Hi, Janet.
I can still hear you, by the way.
Bumblebees. Janet asked what we are making. We are making amigurumi bumblebees today. And my husband brought
scrubbies.
So bumblebee. Look at this bumblebee. It looks like it's been smushed on the ground. Poor little guy. This was my first one, and I gave it to my almost 3-year-old, and she has done a number on this guy. He's seen better days. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna make her a new one. Ooh, Teresa said, I got my first cell phone in 1993. It was big like a satellite phone. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Does anyone else remember the first mobile phones? They came in a suitcase compared to now. I remember my parents' first phones, they were like Blackberries, or like they had a bunch of buttons and they had like a little flip over and they would doodle their calendar in there and everything. And then my mom had like 5 different razors, the razor phones that would just like flip closed. We've come a long way. Thank you, Donna. Yep, Mom had a razor phone. Bag phones? Blackberries. Yes, Blackberries. Do you want to see Zoe's bumblebee?
Aww! It looks like a great face scrubby.
Yeah, just start scrubbing.
You just put the body shampoo in it. You'll be fine.
Oh goodness. So did you finish your 4 single crochet increase round? Are you all?
I'm working on it. I think I still got a ways to go.
I
So I'm
kept.
gonna
I
stop talking
I'll go
to
through the chat and see while you're.
okay.
Oh, my first
Wait.
mobile phone was wired into my car. My first portable was a Nokia and weighed a ton. Nokias are like bricks. They're the indestructible phones. They're always. We are really dating ourselves, ladies.
Indeed. Or not in Beth's case.
I don't even think about that kind of stuff. Good night, Donna.
Good night, Donna.
I never
2.
had a bag phone. My first cell phone was a flip phone.
What is a bag phone?
I don't know. Do you have the pattern for Baby Yoda? That is on Pictures Boutique LLC. I can put a link. Let me see if I can put a link in the chat to it so that you can check it out. There's actually
Make sure to. You're gonna want to put it in both, so whoever they can see it in both.
Pictures Boutique. I'll go over to there and there's a few options. There's one of Yoda drinking a coffee mug, which is what I made, and then there's another one where he's eating like a Mickey Mouse shaped popsicle. It's so cute. So cute. I will just put the link to her website, and then that way you guys can look through her patterns. It's all foundation paper pieced. Mute this. There we go.
Right here. That, because as it starts to get big, times it can be a little hard for me to identify. So I'm just going to mark this so I don't have to think about it.
Here we go. It is in the chat. What happened? What are we owing about?
I got a message that says, oops, one of your streams is having connection issues. Stand by. We are trying to restore the connection. It says I froze up.
Oh, there you go. You're if you look over on your camera, you can see those bars. Yours went back to green, so it should be resolving itself. It looks like your connection took a dip, but it's a little fuzzy now, but it's getting better, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to pin this that way for the Yoda pattern. Is she frozen or she's fine now? Okay, good. Yeah, that Baby Yoda pattern is so much fun. I think that's the most intricate and detailed paper piecing pattern I've ever done. There were so many pieces to that thing.
Oh, it's paper piecing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I got to the point where it was in my mind. I was like, if I mess up even like one piece, I am just throwing the whole thing in the trash because there was like over 100 little pieces and ripping out paper pieces is so hard. So I was like, if I mess up, I'm done. I'm calling it quits. I'm never going to do this pattern again. I did mess up, but I kept going. But I was just in the mindset like, oh man, this is a lot. But it worked out. It was really fun to make. I like paper pieces. I'm almost done. Like a fabric puzzle. It's like a little so fun. I thought it was
can be, but it's so slow.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Especially if you have to seam rip all the time when it's stitches. Oh, let's see. She said, I thought it was crochet. Hold on, let me see.
I think they were talking about the Baby Yoda that maybe you were holding in the picture.
Oh, yes. Yes. Can I see your Yoda? I do not have it. I made it for a gift for a Craftmas. So I sent that wall hanging to my good friend, Kelly. And she sent me this one behind me that's got the really pretty spools of thread. So we did a wall hanging swap for Christmas last year, but I don't have it with me. I don't have the physical thing. I just have the pictures of it. Let's see if I can.
So how long have you been crocheting? When did you start?
Oh, just about maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I for a while. And I knitted a lot, and then I stopped because my hands would get really sweaty. Just kidding. But I stopped, and I got so into quilting. I just found quilting probably a year after I quit knitting, and I haven't stopped since. Like, I don't see an end in sight for quilting. But then I was like, okay, it'd be nice to have something to do when we're watching like a movie or something with the kids, or if I'm in the car for road trips, to have something I can bring
Mm-hmm.
with me. And I really wanted to try crochet. When I watch people crochet, it's mesmerizing. Like, watching the process, I could watch it all day long. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. And I knew I wanted to do amigurumi. So I've never made like a scarf or like a blanket or anything like that. I just was like, okay, figure out a single crochet and a double crochet, and that's pretty much all you need. And just try and figure out the magic circle. But I've only been doing it for about 2 months or so. Maybe.
All right. So I have got my I got my circle.
Okay, so now you are going to do a single crochet into every single stitch, no increasing this round. And we're going to do
Okay.
that for 3 rounds. So we're going to do
Okay.
3 rounds of single crochet. And this is when, you said you can count it, but this is when it really
No.
helps me to have the stitch marker to know where that, like, okay, round 1, round 2, round 3. So,
Yep, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to get this bright orange one that looks like a little safety pin, so it'll be easy to hook in here. I'm just
yeah.
going to put it in behind these V's and close it so that I know where that's the end of one. And this makes it mindless because I don't have to count. I just go into the
Mhm.
stitch and single crochet. So I go in, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2. This one's fun. And we're going to do this 3 rounds, you said?
Yeah, 3 rounds.
This one will go fast.
Oh, yeah.
I have, by the way, people in the chat who are like, there's a way to pull the yarn out so that you don't have to have it roll over. There's also a jar you can put it in.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
actually
smart.
made a yarn jar at a paint your own ceramic place, but it's in the other room. So I'll just put it in my leader's jar because it's small enough. And that'll keep it from rolling around.
Do you pull from the center of your yarn, or do you pull from like around the yarn?
I've been pulling from around the yarn, but that's because I haven't quite figured out how to get it out of the center.
Uh-huh.
So maybe one day. I just want to get the yarn and put it on the hook.
Yeah.
I
I
will improve a little bit at a time.
I pull from around the skein or whatever you call it. I can never
Yeah.
find either. And I feel like when you pull from the center, you got to do a lot of like like tugging it out. So I like that when it's
Mm-hmm.
wrapped around the skein, it's a little bit easier to just get your working yarn untangled from the ball. Some
My
people
sister has this way where she can just spank the skein of thread, and then she just separates it with her finger and she reaches in there and she pulls out a single strand and it's always the cut end. I'm like, how did you do that? I don't even know.
That's impressive.
It is. She spanks it and finds it every time. And I'm just like, no, I can't do that. But I can find it when it's on the end. Thank you. Next. Know your strengths, people. Know your strengths. That is
I
not
love
mine. I cannot spank the yarn. I think
I
that should
like
be on a
that.
shirt. Spank the yarn.
Thank you.
Spank it.
This is the face that we're working on, because the next step is we're going to do some little face detailing. Do you see it coming up for you?
A little bit, yeah. But I'm still doing my first pass, so I have got you in my ears so I can hear more detail than I normally can. And I think I hear like a fish tank.
Yep.
I love it. It's like this little trickle of water. I'm like, oh, I love it.
It's
Okay,
very
good.
loud.
I'm not hearing things. It's very peaceful.
It's peaceful, and then my dogs come down. We've got their food bowl and their water bowl, and the food bowl is like a tank of water that's filled up and it goes down, and they just chug it, and you hear glug, 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 like splashing. So if that pops into your ear at any point, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
They're loud drinkers. But the fishies are very nice and calming.
What kind of fish do you have?
Well, right now we have some mollies and
Okay.
some peas. It was a saltwater tank, so my husband's friend from his first job got a divorce and they were like, "Okay, it's my fish tank and I'm taking it, but do you guys want it?" And we were like, "Sure." And we had no idea how to handle it. There was a clownfish and
Hmm.
a doryfish in it at that time, and we ended up expanding it. We put some live rock in there. We had a bunch of different fish. We had a starfish at one point. But it's really hard to maintain the water parameters that you need to have for saltwater tank. Like things can go awry real quick.
You
And
got to
so
keep it you got to keep it consistent. How let me how big is the tank?
it's about a 50-gallon tank, I would say.
Okay.
Um, it worked out pretty well. I think part of it was when you get the fish, you have to like quarantine them. You have to make sure they're healthy fish first, but you have to like keep them in the bag and then put them in the water, let them acclimate to like the temperature of the water first. Then you like
Right.
slowly, little by little, start adding water from the tank into their bag until it's to the point where the water that they came in is so diluted, they're basically in the water that's in the tank. Then you
Hmm.
put them in and just hope that the fish don't attack each other. um, they there are like rules of like some fish are aggressive, some aren't. So if you pay attention to that, you're good. But sometimes fish just don't like other fish. So we had not a lot of it, but we did have some fighting. We had some fish just completely swim right out of the tank, just like shoot right up. So we learned, yeah, it's an open tank, and we're like, well, maybe we should put a top on it. But we did pretty well. And then by the time we moved into the house, or we're getting ready to move into our first house, we had to bring in the tank, and we're like, well, maybe we should convert it to a freshwater tank. So, because by
Mm.
that time we didn't have any fish in it and it was sitting. And we're like, well, now's the time. So we just put saltwater, or not saltwater, freshwater in it. And it's been going pretty well. There's like a whole
Uh,
SpongeBob up in there, like the pineapple and Patrick and Squidward's house is in there. It's cute.
they have cichlids are really good. I find I had a couple of really big tanks years ago before I moved to Virginia, and we kept cichlids. We had a tank with South American cichlids and a tank with African cichlids. And the African cichlids I really liked because they were a little bit bigger in size than your traditional mollies and guppies where you get that
Mhm.
color.
Yeah.
They were still freshwater fish, but they gave you some really good color. Especially the males, they would get very bright, but they can be very aggressive. And you had to have enough runway. You needed a longer tank rather than a
Mhm.
deeper tank because they like to
Yeah.
run. So, and then you needed something that put a good current in there because they really like to fight the current. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I miss having a fish tank. I would like to get another one. I'm on my second pass, by the way. Are you done
Teresa.
with your 3 single crochets?
Yes. And look at the
Okay.
curve. It's starting. This will be the face.
Yeah, mine's not curving like that,
It will.
but
It
maybe
will.
it will. I'm also not I realize I'm looking at the texture of yours, and your stitches are a heck of a lot tighter than mine are. I have gotten my grip very loose, And so this is a little bit looser than this is really loose. It's not tight. And I wonder if that will play into this.
Yeah, I should have maybe with the tension, I do it really, really tight, so that when you stuff it, you don't see the holes in between, but it
Mm.
doesn't. Once you get comfortable with the process, then you can tighten it up. But since you have it started that way, I would just keep doing what you're doing. And then you can just stuff it really full and it'll give it that shape. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I started out as a really loose crocheter because I would just, when I was practicing and learning, I would do the chain 20 and then try and make like a washcloth. And I was
Mm-hmm.
pretty loose when I started Amigurumi. I was still loose, but I was like, wait, okay, I'm going to tighten it up. So like every time I do a stitch, I lift my finger just a little bit to like tighten it every single stitch. But it doesn't really, like my magic ring part, there's some gappage happening, but it's okay.
I'm almost done with the second one, and then I'll go through and do the third.
Teresa, I hope I don't butcher any names. Teresa DeJong says, I got rid of my tank after somehow contaminating myself. I got salmonella. The health unit called asked if I had a tropical fish because the strain it had come from tropical fish. No more tank.
Yeah, I found with my cichlids, anytime I had to put my hands in the tank to do a water change or clean the gravel or the substrate, or we actually had sand substrate, but anytime I had to put my hands in there, if I did not wash my hands after I put my hands into the tank, they would itch. So I just got in the habit of washing my hands all the time.
Yeah. Ooh. Beth, that looks like the start of the falsies we are given after mastectomy. LOL. I made my mom in Florida, I made her a bumblebee, and the head part, it was a bigger bumblebee, like the head was huge. And she was like, oh, let me see it. And she took a picture. She's like, they're like pasties. I was like, Mom, stop. She's so silly. So all right,
I'm gonna stitch mark this last one just so I know where I'm ending.
Okay. And you can like pull your yarn, like keep it on your hook and pull it out a little bit. And then you can just take your hook out and you know it won't go anywhere too.
Yep.
So I got a big
Or I can just have it stabbing up at me.
Okay. Right. Now is the fun part.
Well, I got to do my third round. This is not the fun part for me. Okay. The fun part for me is just keep stitching.
Just keep stitching. Just keep stitching.
Right?
That's turning out really cool. And with that, Becca is not going to be changing colors. She's going to use the stripes made from her variegated yarn. Instead of, like, for me, I'm going to soon change over to black. She's not going to have to. And it's going to turn out really cool because those stripes are almost like perfectly every round. That looks really cool. I like those colors together too.
I do too. I loved this little skein. I actually got this at Walmart. Now I want to go back and buy all of the skeins of this because I just like all the colors together. Ah!
And if
Will we have a bumblebee done? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe so. Let us know in the chat below.
We have the head. So then we're going to do a few rounds of the body. And then we're going to do the tail. And then we'll have 2 wings. The wings will go super, super quick. They're little guys. And then what we're going to do is stitch them on. And then voila, we got a bumblebee.
Or I just have a football.
Hey, it's very fun. That's fun too. My dad, when he was over last time, I don't know what we were. Oh no, we were in Florida. We were passing around my mom's bumblebee head for quite some time. It was pretty fun. There's a ton of fun patterns that you can find. Like there's collections of patterns. So there's one that's a whole bunch of fruit. Like you can make so many different types of fruit. And then there's a vegetable pack. And then there's like what you're saying, like a cool pack for like a basketball and a baseball and a football. Thought that'd be cool to make for the kids so they can play around with them, but I never get to it. Do you stuff it and then finish off the end? Yes. So I have polyfill filling, and if you don't have that,
Becca does not.
quilt scraps, and it'll work. It'll work great.
I think I have
Beth's
a
ready
pillow that I torn into.
for the mother and child paper. The pattern for the mother and child paper piecing, that's from Snuggle Puzzle. So you can find her on, let me put her Etsy in there, and I'll put it on. She also has an Instagram, but she has some really cute mama and kiddo wall hanging patterns. I think I'm gonna work it into a quilt.
Have you done are you planning to do some foundation paper piecing content?
I don't know. I would like to, because that's pretty much what I do the most of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard to get the time to record like a tutorial, because I feel like once I come down here and I get that time to work, like I am like just in it. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's hard sometimes to like stop myself and say, okay, maybe you could record this and maybe show a little bit of the process for people who may want to learn,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I have to be so quick with the time that I have, or I don't get anything done. But it'd be
Yeah.
cool. I watched a lot of Yvette when I was learning. I really like her videos for tutorials and stuff. So I think maybe that's what's intimidating me to post anything with paper piecing, because there's so many good people out there doing it already.
I agree. I am not a master by any stretch of the imagination. I like doing it, but it's got to be something small and simple ish. And I,
Yeah.
by the way, I am now done. It's got to be something small and simple. I don't want to take on like a Judy Niemeyer or something big because I
Oh,
just
yeah.
don't feel like I am at that skill level at all. But I do enjoy it. I like the results, and I just need it to be a little bit smaller. All right, so I
Yeah.
am actually curving up, by the way. So I didn't even realize I was.
That's good. All right, I popped that pattern in the link for both of us. Okay, so the
Awesome.
next step is we are going to make the little face. And if you don't have safety eyes, don't fret, because you can use black yarn and it'll be just as good. So, or anything. do you have like a contrasting color? Maybe that like the gray black scheme that you had. It's just a little bit of it. So you should still have some for your next project. But if not, you can just make it faceless.
We're just going to make it faceless. Listen, it's too much doing all this stuff. You show me what you do, and I will watch you.
Okay, so I have these little eyeballs that I opened up upside down while I was in Florida. So all of the sizes are just willy in there. So I'm gonna try and find two that match or look like they match. Oh man, I was so bummed when I opened this up and was like, no, because I'm not gonna take the time to sort these. Okay, so we got two little eyeballs, and I'm going to look at my face, and I'm going to place one about 1, 2, 3 stitches away from the center. So I went 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to take, and this is not putting the backs on yet, so I'm kind of auditioning it before I commit, because if I don't, it's going to be a wonky face. So 1,
Okay.
2, 3. We'll see how that looks. Maybe go over one more. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Evenly
I like
spaced,
it.
about kind of straight, and then I'll pop on the eyeballs, or the back to it.
Practically creative, also known as Melissa said Beth, you have a unique outlook that might appeal or work for the people that don't get the complicated stuff that Yvette does. So you should consider doing content for paper piecing.
Thank you, Melissa. I don't know. I would love to. I just don't even know where to start. I did get permission from one of the pattern creators. I got the sunflower pattern that they were doing for Ukraine, and I was going to make a video of making that on my channel. I got permission by her. She was like, just direct people to my site so that they can make a donation. But I was like, going to make a video of making that to show. But I never got to it.
Colleen said, Melissa, I agree. It's nice to see the different ways that everyone goes at a project. Susan Year Out said, a Judy Niemeyer patterned quilt won viewer's choice at the Yakima Quilt Show last weekend.
Wow.
And Sewing with Lane said, I don't know if she knitted or crocheted, but Granny made me a Coors beer can hat with white yarn and a cut up Coors beer can, and I loved it.
I'm taking my black yarn.
I'm just watching you and reading the chat for you.
I need some elevator music.
That's Jeopardy. That's not elevator music. Come on.
It could work. It could pass. It could pass.
It could pass. Maybe.
It gives me elevator music vibes a little bit. There we go.
A while ago, I'm still keeping up. I'm going back and looking at chat, but a while ago, Jeannie's Crochet Creations said that I love making amigurumi. A small hook and tight tension are musts. Well, I did not use a small hook, nor did I use a tight tension. So we will probably be redoing this. I just want to learn the skills of I'm just honestly practicing single crochet tonight. Colleen says, I think she's just testing her elders, Becca. What do you mean? Who? What? Are we talking about Beth? Beth, are you testing me? Testing me for what?
I'm not testing anybody. No,
I don't know what they mean.
I promise. There's no testing. I'm just trying to get like a semi-happy face onto this guy.
Listen, I'm just going to point out that when you're hold yours back up in your hand. Like the shape that yours has is so much better than the shape that mine has. Like I have a pancake with a small rim around the outside. You have a dome.
To be fair, I will put this out there. This is the 4th time I've made this exact pattern. So I've had some practice. So it's
I feel like I should stop here and leave this be a little dish. And then try it again another night. No, I don't feel like this is gonna work, girl. I just don't feel it. I don't think it's gonna work.
You gotta believe. You've gotta believe. You've got.
Wait. What's that TikTok? Don't do it, girl. I'm not gonna do it. I was just thinking about it. Don't do it, girl. That's very cute.
You've already
don't do it, girl.
To this so far. You're almost there. Are you ready for the next round before you give up?
No, I'm going to keep going. We'll see where it goes. Jeannie said, Becca, when you go to stuff it, just put the polyfill in a nylon stocking and it won't show as much if you have loose tension. Oh, Melissa said, Beth just wants us all to feel old.
No, I do not. I'll be honest. I am just oblivious to age, honestly. I don't even think about it.
I hear you.
You guys. I'm just gonna put some blush on and I'll tell you the next round. So I'll tell you this. So since you're not changing your color, you are gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do 10 more rounds of single crochet. I could have given you this information like 5 minutes ago.
I could have been at least through 2 of them. All right, 10 more rounds. Got it.
Well, since I'm changing colors, I didn't even think. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to change colors this next round. But you could have been happily single crocheting right about now.
1. Okay, here we go. Let's see
Just keep.
Let's see.
We're gonna have a great fish at the end of this.
Shoot.
I
Get
put
in
some
there,
blush.
Linda.
A little close, but it'll be okay.
I should probably close this. There we go. Whoop! Oh my goodness. Ah, wow.
Hey, it's just single crochet. You've got it. You've got this. Single crochet, that's easy peasy. You don't even have to think about
Sure.
it. Don't even think
No,
about
you
it.
don't even have to think about it. We don't even have to think about it. I'm not going to do it, girl. I'm only thinking
No.
about it. Not going to do it, girl. Don't worry. I did it. I love that one. There's another one too. What is it? I don't have a problem. 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 And then the other one, gosh, there's one more. There's three that go through my head. It's don't do it, girl. I'm not gonna do it. And then I don't have a problem. I don't know. There was a third one that I've been quoting for like 3 weeks.
Oh yikes! My blush is a little close to the eyes. You blush right at your eyeballs, right? Not your
Yeah.
cheeks.
Uh-huh.
It'll work. Look at this blush.
We're gonna have a faceless bee, which also means we're gonna have a buttless bee and a wingless bee. It's just gonna be a football. I'm not joking. I'm making a hacky sack.
The magic name. It always makes me think of Nemo. It's like, oh, he touched the butt. Because whenever I look at the magic circle, the butt. But I didn't. I was like, am I allowed to say butt on here? So I didn't.
But. Yes, you is.
I guess
But,
you
buttity
too.
but.
All right, let's see. So you're not changing colors. So let's see. I did my face. Now I'm going to change to black. So I am going to take my yarn. There's a whole bunch of yarn everywhere. It's a mess. I'm going to put my hook back into that big old loop that I did. And to change colors, what you do is you do just as you would if you were not changing colors. For the very first step, you go into that first stitch. You yarn over, pull through. Then you stop. So you've got two.
Hammer time. Dude, can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying you stop.
No, carry on. That's wonderful crochet music.
It is. You're welcome. You can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun.
Is it that song where there's also like that same music as another song? Is it Super Freak, or there's two songs where they're the same beat but different words? You know
honey, you're thinking about Ice Ice Baby.
Am I?
Honey. Yeah. Vanilla Ice got sued by, and maybe Super Freak is one of them. I don't know that one, but I know Vanilla Ice around that time. He got sued by gosh, I can't remember the name of the band because he sampled their do 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 do.
Oh yeah.
He added like a hi-hat and that was it.
Yeah.
And he was found guilty. Ice Baby. Do 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 do.
I'm gonna find
But Super Freak might be in there too. I just don't remember that.
Figure it out because it's I swear it's like the same beat. There's one. It's Super Freak and what is it? It's gonna drive me crazy
now. Nana Mona said, Becca, you're just making the queen bee for the hive. Yes, and she is made of all the colors of the rainbow. Actually, I almost picked up a rainbow striped yarn and it was like bright colors of rainbow, and I think that would have been really pretty. So I'll get this down and then I'll go get that yarn and I'll just make all the rainbow colored butterflies.
Round 2.
Hey, wait, what? Maybe mine, why do I have too many stitches? Maybe that's why it's so big. Maybe I'm so big because you are crocheting, like you are finishing your rounds faster than I am.
Oh no, I didn't mean round 2 as if I just did round. Oh. No, I was saying round 2 to you doing it again in the future with the rainbow.
Oh, got it. I understand now. I'm just a little slow, but I do catch up.
I've already done 4 rounds just now. No,
No.
I'm on my first one of my black row.
Oh, there's another TikTok that's out there that I really like that I've gone down the rabbit hole of. The people show their like pictures and clips of their dog, and the audio goes, "I'm a dog. I identify as a dog. I look like a dog, but my mommy says I'm just a baby."
That makes me think
Oh.
of the one. It's a little bit older. I don't know if they're still doing it, but the one was like, "That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog," and it's got a whole bunch of like puppies and stuff, and it's like this little kid voice. "That's just my baby dog." It's so cute.
I tried to get away from the TikToks, but the TikToks just come over to the Instagrams. So,
Yeah.
it's all the same content recycled.
I really like the one, and whenever I put it on, the kids start dancing. But it's that new one where it's like, "Oh, so you used to rap?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, how much of that rap do you remember?" And it's like, "My money don't jiggle jiggle, it falls." Good. I'm like, it's not even like a song, but it's so every time I hear it on a reel, I'm to the point where I'm not annoyed with it yet, and I'll just like jam to it. I'm like, this is a really good song. Like, if they could put this on Apple Music, I would listen to it in the car.
I thought that was a real song because I'm uncool and I'm old. And it came on a reel that I was scrolling through Instagram, and it was on a reel, and I was watching it because I was like, what is this? And because the beat was there, I like let it play like twice. And my daughter's sitting on the couch, and she totally gave me the side eye and looked at me, and she was she was like, yeah, I know that song. Why are you listening to that? So I just thought I was not allowed to because I wasn't cool mom. I'm not
It's
a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Mean Girls. Bam.
Yes! 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 Stop saying fetch. We're not going to make it happen. It's not a
You
thing.
can't
It's not
sit
going to
with us.
happen.
You can't
You
sit with
can't
us.
sit with us. Oh my God. Is that your bracelet? Yeah, my mom made it for me. That's totally cool. That's so fetch. I thought fetch wasn't. We wear pink on Wednesdays.
Crochet and Mean Girl quotes all day long.
I love that
That's,
movie.
I love it. Tina Fey did such a good job.
She does. She went to University of Virginia, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So does that mean that you have a really good sense of humor as well? Can you make some jokes? Like
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground
um
beef. That's all I got. Be here all day, folks. Be here all day.
I have one that my dad always used to say, and I think it's so funny. And when you hear it, your impression of me is gonna dip down like, wow, you're pretty lame. But I think it's hilarious.
Well, I don't think you know me as well as you think you do. Go ahead.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Why do I always bring an extra sock with me when I go golfing? In case I get a hole in one.
See, you think your cool factor just went down. You just got like 5 cool factor points.
It's so funny. I could listen to dad jokes all day long and be thoroughly entertained.
I don't remember very many of them, but Zoe does. She had for a while there. She was knocking them out, and they were pretty good. I just don't remember them. So anytime somebody wants to do dad jokes, I just go to the internet and I pull them up. The only one I remember is the ground beef one. You know what I'm making? I'm making a beret. That's what this is.
Hey, it's an ever-evolving project. It could be anything. Stay tuned. What is Becca going to make?
Cap?
We don't even know.
You don't know. Let us know in the comments below. What do you think this will turn into? Will it work? Nailed it or failed it?
So
Nailed
I
it.
did in my video, but do you see this? Do you see this massive, like, it's huge. I was gonna make a turtle.
Oh, you're ready to go to Paris.
Now I'm like, I finally got to however many rounds this is. It took me way too long to be like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I was like, the picture and the pattern made it look like a very small turtle. And I was like, what is going on here? This shell is never ending. And so now it's just this random green hat. And it sits in my
Oh, my
sewing room.
youngest was telling me about this cool new song when she was in high school. It came on the radio and I could sing to it. It was a cover of Carly Simon's You're So Vain. You're so vain. You
And
probably
you
think the
think
song
this
is
song
about you, don't you? Yeah, we'll be here all night, folks. You're welcome.
free entertainment. This is free.
Yeah. Don't worry. YouTube can't flag the song when I sing it. Because YouTube's like, what the heck is happening?
They're
Are there
like, oh, it's
cats
okay.
dying in the
Let's skip it.
background?
No one's gonna know what it is.
They'll never, that's it. They'll never know. How will they know? They'll never know.
I love it.
Oh, goodness.
Jiggle,
Getting the
jiggle.
giggles.
It bubbles.
Giggle,
Electrical
giggle, jiggle.
jiggle. It's so funny. Really gotta see it. 6'2" in a compact. No slack.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm now on my third row. I've completed 2. And so what I've been doing is every time I move my stitch marker, because I have problems counting and I want to know how many rows I've done, I'm just
Mhm.
hanging another little hooky do off of it. So I can count like, oh, this is past I've done 3. Does that make sense? So I'm
Yeah,
putting these little safety pins. So
that
now I've
works.
done 2.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to put a 3 on there.
Once I get this yellow yarn, once I change my color again, I'll show you a way to figure out what round you're on.
Oh, look at you teaching us new things. Yes,
A quick
please.
little hack. Okay. There we go. There we go. My yarn got all twisted up. No, thank you. Get back in there.
Right. Give me this. So, Becca, too bad you're not working in purple. You could be making a raspberry beret.
Raspberry beret.
Berry beret.
Dun, dun, na, 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 da, da, da,
Gigi
da.
Quilt says, Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am. Somebody said, I just heard, na, 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 na.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey, hey, goodbye night.
Man, I'm gonna have about 30 different songs in my head. What's worse than having one song in your head the whole night?
30.
Hey, those are
30.
all good songs, though. I really like Raspberry Beret. I'm trying to think of the one that I've been listening to a lot. Every time it comes up in my headphones, I'm like, yeah! It's the Brandy. I think it's called Brandy.
Oh, yeah. Brandy, you're a fine girl.
Yeah. Super fun!
Yeah. That's here's where I knew the song before, but this is why I keep listening to the song, because it is on the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, which has been on repeat in my ear for about 6 weeks.
Was that a good movie?
Oh, yeah, all the Marvel movies are amazing. But the Guardians of the Galaxy ones were really funny.
I have not watched any. Those are the ones with Chris Pratt?
Yes, I'm so happy that you remembered his name. Good job. He's hilarious. There's also a new Jurassic Park movie coming out that he's in, and I can't wait to see that.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't see the movie, but I
When
saw the trailer.
so Zoe was probably about 6 or 7, I think, somewhere around there. And she kept wanting to watch the dinosaur. That's what she called it, the dinosaur movie. So she wanted to watch Jurassic Park. And we told her no, told her no, told her no. And then finally we were like, okay, we'll let her watch it with our supervision. We'll see how she does, right?
Yeah.
So Jason's in the front room with her and she's watching the movie, and I don't remember the details of it. He tells the story way better than I do. But it goes something like this. She was standing in front of the TV, and there were two dinosaurs fighting, and then a dinosaur came in, and she had assigned a good dinosaur and a bad dinosaur role to the two that were fighting. And so she turned around and was explaining to Jason that this dinosaur that had come into the frame or something was going to rescue the good dinosaur and everything was going to be okay. And just as she turned around, like the good dinosaur got killed as soon as she turned around,
Oh,
and her jaw just hit the floor and she just stopped dead in her tracks. And then she just walked out of the room. She's like, nope, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm not
I'm done.
entertaining this
Nope,
any
nope.
further. I'm out of here.
She didn't say anything. She just saw it and she was like, "Nah, I'm good. Bye."
Wrong movie. This is it for me. That's so
Sewing
funny.
with Lawayne said, "Okay, let's take a poll. DC movies or Marvel?" Ooh, I love them both. The
Can we have a
DC
third option?
movies, yeah, well, none. Is that what going to be your third option? What's your third
Rom-coms?
option? Oh, rom-coms. Oh my gosh. I think Jason should have been a woman in a prior life because he loves a good rom-com. So that is, well, we will watch rom-com over anything else in this house. But if I had to choose two, I think I would, or if I had to choose between DC or Marvel, I probably would choose Marvel because I've seen all of the Marvel movies and I haven't been disappointed in any of them. But I do like the DC movies too. I feel like I know more of the storyline from Marvel.
Can we get a breakdown for all of the people that may be in the chat who are not familiar? I'm asking for a friend, not for myself. Definitely not for myself.
Uh-huh, sure.
What is the split up? So, like, one is like Superman, Batman. Like, what is the split up of the two?
So it's really just the different universes, right? The different heroes. And I am not a comic expert at all, so I am sure I am going to get this wrong and somebody's going to leave all the comments correcting me. But Marvel, the Marvel universe, the kind of centers around like you have like Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and then there's a bunch of others, but those are kind of like the big ones. Oh, you also have the gosh, not the Green Giant. That's like the
Hulk?
broccoli dude. Yeah, you have Hulk. The DC is like the super friends, like Batman. Oh, I think Spider-Man is actually Marvel too. But DC is Batman, Superman, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Wonder Twins, Aquaman. It's just a different universe, different. There's probably more that goes into that, but
Yeah. And why do you
I
prefer one over the? Because you said you watched a lot of them. Is there anything
I
else that
actually
separate?
like them both. I'll watch a Batman movie. I'll watch and I love the Batman movies. I'll watch the Superman movies. I love those. I actually I'll watch them both. It's only with Marvel, I'm just more familiar with the storyline because during the pandemic, I took the time to watch every single Marvel movie in chronological order. So I'm a little bit more
Oh my
familiar with and then
goodness.
all of the miniseries that spinned off of the characters. So I have a little bit more understanding of the universe story.
So this may be completely out of the wrong category, so do not judge me because
Oh, sure.
I'm not well acquainted. But is The Mandalorian, because I know that's on Disney and people were going crazy over it. Is that hooked to DC or Marvel, or is that like something totally different?
That's Star Wars.
Okay, this is like going straight over my head.
That the Mandalorian is like Baby Yoda.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Well,
okay. Yeah. I am not well acquainted. Austin
it's
really
okay.
loves stuff. If my sister's still in the chat, um I'm gonna blame you for the reason why, because we would battle over the remote growing up. I was the kid that always wanted to watch Animal Planet and
Oh
all of the
yeah.
shows, and she only ever wanted to watch sci-fi or horror films. And so
Oh,
that that time in my life has set me against anything like too fantasy. I'm like, nope. Reminds me of bad times when I couldn't watch the giraffes at the zoo or something like that. And so I just haven't really given it that much of a shot to see if I would like it. But yeah, maybe I would. Who
There's
knows?
nothing wrong with that. Well, I love the nature channels too. I'll tell you, like I do watch I've seen all of those movies, but I'll tell you what I really love. My go-to, honest to goodness. I can watch the entire series, all 40 seasons on repeat. How It's Made.
Oh my gosh, that's a great show.
I
That's so
love documentaries. I love behind the scenes stuff. Like I want to see how things work. And then they have the British version. How does it work? I watch that one all the way. I'll get all the way to the end and then I'll go back to the beginning and watch it over. I like Mythbusters because I want to see I want to see stuff get debunked. I like historical documentaries. I like I want to know the stuff. I want to feel like I learned something, but I want to be entertained
yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah. Well, my question is How It's Made, did they have a separate show just for, like, candy and chocolates? Because I remember watching
Oh,
the one that was always, like, how food was produced, like Twizzlers, and it would go
mhm.
into the factory and everything. Was that the same show, or was it
It was the same show. They just had some episodes that were focused only on like the food factories.
Oh, I loved
It
it.
was still How It's Made. Yeah, and you can follow the YouTube channel. I think it's Sci-Fi or Science or something YouTube channel. They've got, instead of having all 30 minutes from each episode on a YouTube video, they've taken like the 5 or 10 minute segments for a lot of those items. And they've broken them down into bite-sized videos. So if you just want to see like how I don't know, make something up, insert random thing here is made. If you searched How
Twinkies?
It's Made and put the item, yeah, how are Twinkies made? You can do that.
That's cool.
I love a factory tour. I love a factory tour.
It's so satisfying. Like,
Hmm.
seeing something masterfully put together in an assembly line, is there anything better? I think not. I think it's very cool because you see all of it, like,
Becca, there,
organized.
yeah. Melissa said, Becca, there used to be a guy named James who did shows where he went from papyrus to gunpowder or equally diverse subjects.
Oh,
Beth,
wow.
Sewing with Lorraine wants to know, Beth, did she also make you watch Wild Kingdom with Marlon Perkins?
I don't even know. What is that?
I think that was on
What
the
is
Animal Channel.
Oh, I don't know if I watched that. I
What
would
was
watch
your go-to show on the Animal
Animal
Planet?
Planet. I liked
Hmm.
watching the ones where they would go and rescue. So it'd be like the cops and the veterinarians, and they would go like bust down doors of like people hoarding animals or
Oh,
stuff like that, and they would take them and they would kind of rescue them, and it would show the process of them getting better and then getting adopted. I really liked that. And Steve Irwin, I watched that a lot. Um,
R.I.P.
I know.
Although, who didn't see that coming?
I honestly though to and I say this in like the most respectful way, but how? Like he was always around crocodiles and a stingray does it? I mean,
Yep.
what?
I don't know that I wasn't there and nobody saw the footage, so we really don't know what happened. And
Oh,
I'm not gonna come out. Huh?
were they recording? Were they recording when it
Yeah.
happened? Oh, I did not
Yeah.
know that. Oh
Yep.
man.
Yep. I
That's
saw a
very
documentary on that, but the footage will never be released, obviously.
good.
But yeah, they were recording for I think one of his upcoming films or something.
Oh wow.
I don't think it was the show that they were recording for. I think it was for the film. But
I did see
I like, huh?
Oh, no, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, they have a show on Animal Planet now called Crikey, It's the Irwins. I watched that. I love that show.
Yeah, I was about to say his daughter just had a baby, and
Yep.
I saw on a Facebook group they like do a lot of editing for people. Like they'll post a picture, and someone had taken the picture that she posted of like her holding the baby, and they were asking like, "Hey, can you add Steve into the photo as like a little angel in the photo?" And I thought that was so sweet. But
Yeah, that is
yeah,
sweet.
going. They're so passionate. That's what makes it so special. You can tell they truly care.
I like watching Jimmy Fallon when Robert Irwin goes on the show.
Is he funny?
Jimmy Fallon or Robert?
Robert.
Well, Jimmy Robert's just got a personality that makes him fun to watch. But
Is he the one
the
that
thing
brings
that,
the animals?
huh?
Is he the one
I
that
didn't
brings
hear
all
you.
the animals?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
So
I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
and Jimmy, like, there's always that one animal that Jimmy doesn't want to do anything with.
That'd be so fun. Is there an animal that you're scared of? Like, what would be your animal if they brought it on the show where you'd be like, nope, I'm gone, taking mic off, walk off the
Snake.
stage? A
Snake,
snake?
100%. I don't care if it's a little baby garter snake that's an inch long. I'm going to run and you're going to see smoke coming out of my booty. I hate
Bye.
snakes. Bye, Felicia. I'm out of there. Like, not, I could tolerate almost anything else. I will not tolerate a snake. I cannot. What's
That is how
yours?
Austin is. He's petrified. You're gonna laugh at me. You're gonna laugh. There's a lot
Well,
that this equation, but the one that I think of, I'm just gonna go with the basic like day to day, is a huge ant. I hate ants. They scare me. Like I just can't do it. If I see an ant, I get in a scurry. I just don't even know what to do. I went to the park yesterday and I saw ants like this big crawling on the sidewalk. I'm like, "Woo!" Walk
oh my
around.
gosh.
They freak me out.
Why? What
Well,
do
I
you,
think
does it go back to something?
I think I was traumatized. We used to live in Hawaii and we went to a luau and I was sitting on the curb and I didn't know that I was sitting and my feet were right in a fire ant's nest. I don't know how,
Oh,
but they like went all over my feet, all over my legs, and they just bit me like crazy or stung or whatever. So I think
oh my
that's stuff
gosh.
because even if it's like a regular house ant, I freeze up and I like when I used to live at my parents' house still and I was doing the dishes, we would get ants in the summer no matter how clean you keep the kitchen. They just are bound to come and I
Mm.
would gear up with Windex and I'd put gloves on and I would just go to town like goodbye ant pew pew pew. And I would never get the dishes done because I was too busy defending myself against ants, but they just ugh.
We've got a
Scorpions.
couple people. We've got a couple people over here that are talking about spiders. Teresa said camel spiders are what I hate, and Beth knows.
Uh,
She showed me, she was telling me about a camel spider that she was talking to you about.
yeah.
And no,
She was
thank
just sitting there
you.
like, oh, I see one. She just splat that thing like crazy. She's like, oh, but she was like right by the wall. I would, and then she was like, okay. She kept staying outside. I'm like, I would be inside, done for the night.
She hit it with the shoe and then just stayed out there.
Yeah,
She's like, well, that one's dead, but I hate them and they scare me to death.
ends out here. It's a solo mission for this little guy.
Pat Strawhouse and Teresa Louise both said that. Heather had said spiders. Heather Grint said termites. I'm terrified of termites.
Ooh. Our house in
I'm ter.
Hawaii was infested with termites. It was
Oh
bad.
no.
Infested. Like the people before us added on to the home and then didn't go through with like proper inspection after and we didn't know that. But there was one night we came home and there were termites literally covering the floor like carpet. Like it was all over the place and um
Really?
so bad. I still have the visual of my mom standing on the table that we would eat breakfast at with a vacuum, vacuuming out this giant chandelier bowl filled to the brim of termites. Like it was a all-out infestation. It was bad. We would have to turn the lights off at like 7 and put bowls of water out with like dish soap in it to try and attract them because they would come out. And we had geckos out in Hawaii. So for the longest
Mhm.
time, we would hear the geckos clicking. They click, 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 click. And we're like, wow, Hawaii's so wild. And then once we figured out we had termites, we're like, oh, okay. They had a very good supply of food. That makes sense. But it was so bad. When we moved to Kansas, it took so long for termite wings to stop like falling out of our stuff. Like it was so bad.
Oh,
It was
we have termites here in this area, but they're subterranean termites. And
yeah,
so we live in a house that's literally plopped like in the middle of the woods, right? And so
yeah.
I'm a little nervous about termites because when I was doing my garage renovation, they found mud tubes that were
Ooh,
old and there was no active infestation,
yeah.
but they found mud tubes in the walls. Well, we have a termite perimeter like around the outside and everything, and I've done all the things that I need to do to keep them away from the home. But every time I see something flying outside, I'm like, is that a termite? Is that a termite swarm? What's going on there? Like I'm terrified that
Yeah.
they're gonna come eat my house down. And in my head, they're gonna eat the entire infrastructure of my house overnight. Like I'll wake up and there will be no home. And I
It
know
like
that's not how it works. And I know I know I don't have anything to worry about. So
yeah.
I just need to not stress.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because my mom, when we lived out there, she has asthma already, but she
Oh
was having
no.
the worst breathing problems out there and was getting
Probably
sick
because of
very.
the bugs and stuff.
And because yeah, they once we found out there was an infestation, they did a whole evaluation of the house and they found a like the biggest nest in the house was in their doorway, like above their door to their room. So she was breathing, and termites, they make their nests out of like really nasty stuff, like it molds, and it's just not good things that you want in your space because the nests are just terrible. And so she's like, "Oh, well, that makes sense as to why I've been struggling so bad when we were living here because you have a giant nest right above your door." And it was huge.
Mm.
People when
Angel said, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I'm
I
just
was just gonna
rambling.
say that's okay. That's fine. That's what we do on these, right? Angel wants to know what state I live in. I live in Northern Virginia. Ashley B is here and she is getting caught up with the chat. She said she is Marvel all the way, and there's a new Thor movie coming out, and I'm really excited about that. Anyway,
That's my sister.
uh, oh, wait, Ashley B is your sister?
Yes. Ashley
Ashley
B.
B is Marvel all the way. So you are Marvel all the way, my friend.
Can you tell we are like polar opposites? She's like, I have a set choice. And I'm like, wait, what? What is the option again? Can you repeat it? Repeat the question.
I'm going to
D.
tell you. So take a look. This is really starting to turn into a little bowl.
That
Do you
looks
see how I've got the
good.
walls coming up?
Yeah.
It's getting there. And I'm every time I finish a round, I'm moving my stitch marker over to that last stitch and I'm adding a little charm hanging off of it to show that I've got that I finish another round. I'm going to do that until I get 10 charms hanging off of that because that's what you said is to go 10 times.
Yep.
Although I'm afraid I might run out of yarn before that happens
Oh no. Well, let me
because
show
it's
you. Um, so
I think I
you
might be okay. This is more than what it looks like.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely be good. To count where you are. So let's start
Mhm.
right at the center, where his nose would be. If bees have noses, do they have noses? Who nobody knows is. But you start here, and then you start counting out. So this first one you're not going to count because that's the magic ring. Then you're going to go.
Mhm.
Let me get a needle to help the people watching. Let's see. So you've got your nose, and you're going
There
to
you go.
go.
There's the nose.
Man, it's so hard to do this on the it's everything's mirrored. Okay, so you're gonna go one. You're just gonna count your rows up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So usually patterns have the numbers of what round you're on. So you could easily
Mhm.
look at that and be like, okay, I'm on the 16th round, and you would know what to do next. But this does not have any indication of what round you should be on. But that's an easy way. You just count the bubbled lines. if that
Okay.
makes sense. A little rose. Sometimes it's hard to see, especially with darker colored threads. Like the black, it's really hard to count sometimes, so.
I feel like as you're shrinking this down, you could even put like a little casing and you could make this a little drawstring bag.
Oh, that would be really cute. You could even make it like a
Like,
bowl, like a cozy for your cup.
yeah. Somebody had mentioned a bowl cozy. I think it was Susan Year Out.
I have one more black stripe to go, and then turn back to yellow. So I'm making good
Yellow,
progress.
black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You know what it is. Man, I'm surprised you're singing
Wait.
some Wiz Khalifa over here. I'm impressed with you.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
You're
By the way, I don't know any of that song. I just know saying black and yellow, and I didn't know who sang it. But I'll take the credit. You're welcome.
I was always watching this, like, oh, mother, you're singing Wiz Khalifa. I think it's super cool. I hope my kids think I'm cool when I start doing like hip things. Like, what's hip nowadays? I don't even know.
I kind of quit listening to top 40 music when my daughter got to the age where she wanted to listen to her music in the car. And that wasn't even so bad because I could jam out to some of that. And then
Yeah.
she morphed around like 4 to like some of that R&B stuff. So she liked like Katy Perry. Her favorite song for a while was Roar. She loved that song. And then she started to learn that some of her movies, especially like her favorite Disney movies, had soundtracks that went with them. And so she would request the soundtrack for her movie, and I love to sing, so I would sit and sing with them. But every single time we got in the car and she requested her song, if I started singing,
Yep.
she would be like, "Mom, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm singing. Stop." And then as she got a little bit older, she would ask for control, like just ask to hold the phone so that she could control the music. And so I
Yeah.
just give it back to her and she'd pick her music. And so she'd pick something. And even if I started humming with it, she would pause the music and look at me, and not even a word would come out of her mouth. She would just look at me. And then as if to say, what have we talked what have I said about this? What like we've talked about this. Do you remember? You are not to sing. This is my time with my music. Stop it.
I feel like what you just described is Addington to a T, because they have little iPods and
Uh-huh.
they'll play music, and if I start singing anything, he'll stop the music and he'll look at me and say, "It's not your song."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's your song. Okay." And so, yeah, I'm not allowed to enjoy the music either. So I can commiserate with
Halo
you.
Halo Inspirations is here and said that they are in Virginia too, and they're near Williamsburg. Welcome to the live stream, Halo Inspirations. And howdy, neighbor. I am working on row number 7 now.
6, 7. I don't even know. I'm counting my rounds. I'm like, I took my stitch marker out, and I don't know if I went into that stitch or if I didn't. So now I have to count.
This is my first time using stitch markers, counters, whatever. This is kind of awesome. I feel like I'm putting jewelry on my project, and I get to earn another charm every time I go around. Ah!
Okay, yes, I'm at 36. I was thinking I was at 38, and so I would get to 36 and be like, "Oh no," and then I look and it's 36. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I like it. I showed you before we hopped on, but this is my little stitch counter, or my little stitch
Bye,
marker.
Tiffany.
It's a
Have a good
cute
night.
little cat donut. It's so cute.
That is cute. I like it. I like that type of a stitch marker because you can hang your little charms off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of different cute ones out there. There were like corgis and like a French bulldog one that was pretty cute. there was cute bird ones. I'm a sucker for anything bird themed, so
Teresa said, we never got to control the radio when I was a kid. Me either. But apparently I let my daughter do it. So,
I'm glad I didn't, because my parents, we listened to everything. And so now I have a pretty wide variety of like my taste in music, from like reggae to CCR to, I mean, I can listen to anything. And I hope, like, I want to pass that on to my kids, even though we listen to a lot of the like Encanto soundtrack, all of the major Disney movies, they love getting the soundtracks on their iPods, or they'll tell me to play it in the car. And then so when I play like a different song, they're like, "Mom," and I'm like, "You also need to listen to other music too. Like, you gotta, there's a whole ocean of good music out there, and you're sampling just one little pond over and over and over." It's cute to listen. So my son, he loves singing in the car. So when I do play songs that he's never heard before, you can still hear him in the back of the car trying, like, he doesn't know the words, and he's just singing along, like trying to make the words up as it goes. And it is just the cutest thing ever.
I'm flying away. I think I only have 2 more after this. And then I can start, I'm guessing, decreasing.
Yes.
And that's something that I've never done before. So that'll be a new skill when I get there. I just got to do 2 more rounds. But I mean, even like, I'm really happy with the shape of this. Like, seriously, can I just put some of that Terrial magic on it and just make it a little bowl? This would be great.
If you want to, go for it.
No.
Whatever.
I want to learn to decrease.
It's super easy. Once we get there, you're gonna be like, "Oh, okay." There's 2 different ways to do it. So there's an invisible decrease, and there's just a regular decrease. We'll just do the invisible one because that's what the pattern calls for. But if you want to do like a more basic one, we can just do the regular one. I don't know what difference it makes in the look of it. I don't know.
I'll just follow whatever you tell me to do.
I have just a few more to go. Rounds, that is, not stitches.
Hello, Delia. Welcome to the live stream.
Do you still hear the fish tank?
I do, and I love it.
So far, no dogs have joined us.
Sad. So sad. Call the puppies.
They're probably cuddled up with Austin right now. He is the ultimate dog lover in the house. He spoils those puppies. Do you have dogs?
I do not. Okay, so that was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 7. So now I just got to do 8, 9, and 10. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to switch it up now because it's getting hard to hang all of them off there. I'm just going to put my stitch marker in that first stitch, and I'm going to keep a little pile that's right there. This is my little pile that is my stitch counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to put another little token over here. That's 8. That's how I know how many rows I've done. And that's probably where having like a stitch counter will come in handy, because I can just be like, click. But in the absence of, I will just have a pile of little tiddly bits.
Newly.
Okay.
Buddy. Austin's watching, so he like signaled the dogs to come out here. Say hi. Come here.
Puppy. Hello, Austin.
Hi, buddy.
Thank you for sending us the puppies.
Buddy. This is Buddy. Hi, Buddy.
Hi, Buddy.
And then Newly, come here. They're like, wait. You're actually giving me some love? No. We've got a Labradoodle and a full, like, standard poodle. They're huge. It's their first YouTube live. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the live stream, puppy puppies. I am allergic to dogs, so we had a puppy. We actually had to put him down a year ago. It it was old age, it was his time. It wasn't because I was allergic to him. I lived with him and my allergies for a number of years. I actually didn't have allergies to him when we got him, when we adopted him, but over
Yeah,
time they developed, and I don't think we're over that loss and ready to bring another furry creature into our home. We do have a cat, which I am
yeah,
also allergic to. Um, we're just not ready for another four-legged creature to come into our homes or our hearts right now. We
yeah.
may never be ready for that again, and I think that's okay. But I do love them. I just can't touch them.
You mentioned
Not unless
that,
the
and I,
hypoallergenic ones I can.
yeah, like the hairless cats, and then you do well with the poodle, because like if you
Yeah.
get a true poodle, they don't shed or anything. They should be hypoallergenic.
Crystal Lewis wants to know, how do you like crocheting now? I really love this. It's such a soothing, like, mindfulness exercise. It's just it's just this repetitive motion, and it's easy enough to do once you get down into the rhythm of it, especially if you use these stitch markers. I feel like you can talk, you can still pay attention a little bit to what's going on around you, and this for me, I don't really do well sitting in front of the TV for long periods of time unless, like, I think that's part of the reason why I like documentaries, because I don't really need to see the imagery. I just need to hear it.
Hmm.
So I can pay attention, I can do something else with my eyes that doesn't really require my brain, but I can listen to the documentary. So this is a really good thing to do while I'm sitting by the fire with Jason outside, or if we're watching TV together. It keeps me it keeps my brain kind of engaged a little bit so I don't get bored or tired.
Yeah.
True story, I fall asleep during movies. It takes me sometimes 2 or 3 passes to watch a whole movie
Oh my
unless
gosh.
it's really, really good and keeps my attention. But, like, I have to take an intermission break to get up and stretch my legs and go get some. I can't sit through a whole movie anymore. I used to be able to. I just can't now.
Yeah.
My brain turns off. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sleep."
Does that all the time. He'll do it for shows too. So, like, we'll pick a show and it's
Mhm,
off limits to watch by ourselves. Like, that is our
mhm.
show. And so you finally get the chance to watch the show together. And, like, maybe half an hour in, I just hear snoring. And I'm like, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
End, end the show. But he passes
I
out at
I have done
everything.
that. We watched Ted Lasso. I love that show. Ted Lasso's on Apple TV Plus. We watched that for a while, and there was actually one. The trick for me is if I'm going to watch TV, I cannot be on the couch if I'm going to stay awake, because I will eventually slouch, and then the slouch will turn into laying down, and then the laying down will turn into me closing my eyes, and then I will start snoring. So I got to sit in the recliner, because then I can't sleep in the recliner, so I will stay awake and watch it. But if the movie is not keeping my attention, my eyes start to glass over and I start looking like I look a little like I'm stoned. I'm like, Jason's like, "Are
I
you okay?" No, no, I'm not.
You like poke the person. Are you awake?
Are you awake? Nope, not awake.
See,
Pick something
I'm the
better.
opposite. I could not. So when Austin and I got together, he's the person that he would keep the TV on all night and he would fall asleep to the TV. I cannot fall asleep if a TV's on because
Mm,
I like detach my mind and my hearing from what's going on.
mhm.
And so I do not sleep with the TV on. I can't do it. And if I'm watching a show before I go to bed, it's so hard for me. Like 99% of the time I will finish whatever episode because I feel like I've committed so far I need to finish this out. I need to see it through before I go to bed. So
Mm.
TVs in bed are not good for me because one, I can't sleep with them on, and then I can't turn them off to go to sleep. So it's a conundrum.
I need the background noise to keep my mind from thinking about all of the things that could be happening. But I need to watch the right show when I go to sleep. It has to be something that I am very familiar with, that I am not vested in seeing. It's almost like a security blanket type of thing. So I like to watch shows that bring me like a good feeling from my childhood or something, or from like at wherever. So like I will not even childhood. It's just it has to be the right thing that I can feel, I don't know, comforted by. So You've Got Mail. It's a movie with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Mhm.
That's a movie that I have turned on at bedtime at least 1,000 times. I can Jason and I love that movie. It's one of our favorites. I can quote just about the entire thing. We watch it. I watch it at bedtime. I fall asleep to it. It's great. I also watch Friends because it's on Nick at Night, and they just like almost every 10 days, every other week, they restart the whole series. So I just put that on and I just let it run. And I usually fall asleep within the first episode. And then my iPad will turn off after X number of minutes of inactivity, even if it's streaming something. And so I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about it running all night long. Um, Once I'm asleep, I'm okay. I just need something to lull my mind to sleep. I have tried like white noise machines. Those work well too. Music works well for me. I just got to hear something, and
Yeah.
it's got to be something soothing.
I feel like if I'm listening to something, it's got to be rain. Like rain is my
Mm,
weakest thing that calms me. It's the ultimate soothing thing. So the
yep.
sound machines, some of them have like that light rain. But
Hmm.
on rainy days when you wake up or you go to bed, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be a good night. I'm gonna get some good
Hmm.
sleep. It's so soothing.
Delia says she watches Friends every night. See, Delia and I are bonding over Friends every night. She doesn't even know it. Um, if you like the sound of rain and it's soothing for you got to check out this channel Post 10. That's the name of the channel. I don't know why it's Post 10. That's just what he calls it. But this guy goes around finding like culverts and streets that are flooded from rainstorms, and
Oh
he's
wow.
usually out there moving, like going and checking stuff out while it's still raining a little bit. And so you get like the tinker of the raindrops on his camera, and you get the
Ooh.
sound of the water moving when he's trying to like unclog stuff, and then you get the sound of like traffic on the road a little bit, and
Oh
then
yeah.
you hear the sound of the traffic in the water. Dude, 10 out of 10 puts me to sleep every single time. And I don't know, like I it that's one of those soothing things for me. I'm like, okay, yes, let's knock out some Post 10. Yes, let's do it.
I'm gonna have to look that up because that sounds magical. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Because one of the best sounds is tires like driving on like a rained on street.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
static, like
yeah.
oh, it's so nice. Have you looked into
100% you're like, yes.
because this
Huh?
is reminding me, it's kind of leading into ASMR. Have you ever heard
Yes.
ASMR? What are your
Well,
feelings about it?
so that kind of reminds me a little bit of ASMR because it's got a lot, but he talks in some of the videos. So I don't think it really falls into the ASMR category. I
Yeah,
think ASMR is great, but I don't like it when it's like the talking and the popping and stuff. But there
yeah,
are some audible sounds that I have learned I just really enjoy the sound of. And I understand that those sounds can really just trigger somebody else. So, like
yeah.
plastic bags when you're unwrapping a package, I love that. Like, yes, cellophane bags. Please, please, please unwrap the package. I kind of low key love that. I love the sound of people ironing their fabric. I like the sound of sewing machines, obviously. I mean, that makes sense. Except the
Good
problem with
thing.
that is it makes me want to get up and sew.
Yeah.
Um, I really enjoy videos where a creative artist is making their craft with all of their tools and they're not talking over top of it at all. So I like watching wood turning videos and just hearing their
Ooh,
machines going. It's
yeah.
just, I like the sound of somebody writing.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. So when I will say, I showed ASMR because I didn't know about it. I don't know if it's like a recent thing or if it's been around like my whole life and I just
No,
never
it's
knew of it,
recent.
but I showed it to Austin after I found it on YouTube, and I turned it on. He's like, "What is this? It's making me feel weird." And he's like, "I just don't understand it. What is this? What is it?" I'm like, "It's ASMR." And he's like, "What is this you're showing me?" And so he was like really confused about it. But I enjoy it. I like when they like tap on the screen and they like tap tap tap. And they just tap tap tap. That I think that's like so nice. There's certain sounds that I like. And it's also like a feeling too when you have like a stack of papers and they're
Hmm.
not like brand new papers. They got a little bit of wrinkle to them and the stack is like it's all bent and I love messing with old paper. I don't know what it is, but the feeling and the
Hmm.
sound and the I like that. I don't know if there's any other sound. Rain, obviously. Rain is
There are,
definitely up.
but there are, the whole thing with that ASMR is there are sounds that are soothing and calm you down, but there's the opposite too, right? There's sounds that just trigger you. And
Yeah.
I feel like the ASMR craze is relatively new, but there have been things like that for a while. I remember being in middle school and going to Epcot at Disney World, and they had like a, I think it was Honey I Shrunk the Kids audience or something, and they did some sort of thing in an audience where they made it pitch dark and they were talking about different sounds triggered different emotions in you. And so they made the whole audience dark and they pulled out like a sound of water, like the sound you get when you're getting your hair washed, and that was
Yeah.
soothing. And then the sound of like clippers and like snip, 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 that was okay. But then the sound of the bee, like a bee buzzing or a fly buzzing around your ear, you're like, eh! Like there were
Yeah.
things that you were like, you got triggered by, and there were things that you were just like, ah. And so it
That's
was interesting.
wow. Yeah,
I am on my last row, by the way.
okay. I am just hanging out. I am oh my goodness. I thought
Oh, your
I okay,
goodness.
yeah. Yes, I'm good. Yes, I'm good. I was like, wait, should I have been doing it? No, I'm waiting. This next round we are gonna be doing the decreases. So
Okay.
and your shape looks amazing. Your shape I think another
It's not
part of it
bad.
is what weight yarn is that? Is it a
Oh,
different
I
weight?
don't know.
It might just be a
Um,
different weight too, so it looks bigger than mine
it
too.
says net weight 2 ounces, 102 yards, 4 ply. I don't know how to read this.
Oh
Like,
no, we're
it
um
says it is a 5 millimeter crochet hook, 14R 4x4. It says I should be using a 13 SE. I don't know what any of that means. Medium 4. It's a medium
okay.
4,
Okay, I think mine's 4 as well. It might just be
but I'm
because
using a 5. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook, so that's probably part of it.
and I'm using a
Maybe
5. I was gonna make yeah, that's definitely and our tension's probably a little bit different too.
a
But I'm
little
using
bit.
a 5. I think it looks great. I don't see any holing or anything. Like I don't know what you're saying. It looks good.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think our tension is a lot different. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
You get
I
into a
still
groove.
feel like it'd be a good bag.
Hey, well now you have the pattern, so you can just make a bowl or whenever you're hanging out next time watching You've Got Mail, you can make a bag or
Mm.
a bowl cozy or
Dun, 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 ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. Oh, that's the theme song. I'm sorry. But it's only
awesome.
good if you get the America Online, like, the modem sounds over top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Austin said, I know my brother hates the sound of a knife and fork scraping together. That
Oh
ting.
yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah, that's pretty
No,
awful.
thank you.
Bad.
Hello,
His
RC.
brother
Welcome to the
like
live stream.
a lot of things. His brother doesn't like salmon or cranberries. Do you like salmon?
I do, but not smoked salmon.
Yeah. What? So
What
do
about
you do it on the
sushi?
grill?
No, I do it at the restaurant when they serve it to me.
You need to try blackened salmon. So you pop
Oh
it up on the
yes.
grill. It's so good. I love it. It's so yummy.
We have a problem.
Oh no. Oh no.
I just got a knot in my yarn,
Oh,
and I
just
did not.
you got a knot in it? Was it already in the yarn?
Well,
Oh.
I didn't do it.
Well, sometimes there's a knot, like sometimes when they put it together, they'll like knot two sections together and
Oh no, this is just it. It got tied and tangled.
Oh,
So we're just gonna fix it. Dreams are just a pretty picture. Things get all bumpy. It should
yeah.
come true.
Becca has stated that she does not mind what is inside or outside because someone asked, what if Lou says, hi ladies, I've noticed Beth is working around the outside of the bowl and Becca is working around the inside. Is Becca sitting inside out? Becca's is sitting any
Oh,
which way she wants it to be.
wait, what are we how can you tell the difference? Oh, I see. I get it. Listen, I will turn it right side out in a moment. You just wait, okay? I see. All right. You can just listen. This is my room, and there are no crochet police here. I did not understand when Beth told me there's a right way and a wrong way. I was like, no, there's not. We're not going to play crochet police.
Not a
And
wrong
now I
way.
see. Now I see why it looks so different. Hold on, I'll get you on the flippity flop. Hang on, because I'm almost done.
Sushi, I feel like I can't really say that I like sushi because I like the California rolls and that's like that's the quasi sushi. It's like a faux sushi because it's crab, rice, seaweed. And I always stick the cucumbers out because I don't like the texture of a cucumber. Blech. So
Really?
at that point, is it really even sushi? With just, it's not
I
like the
mean,
tuna rolls and the calamari and like all that stuff. But
I love a spicy tuna. I love a salmon avocado. I like sushi, but I don't like eel. So I don't want anything with the eel in it.
oof.
Yuck.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting.
Okay.
When
We're
we
gonna
lived in
oh
Hawaii,
look at how much better those stitches look
Yay!
now. Look at
that.
that.
Those look so
Look at
good.
that.
I
Look,
love
do you see
it.
how the stitching is different now? This is the
Yes.
outside and this is the inside over here. This is the right way. This is the wrong way. You're welcome. Okay, I have all 10 of my rows.
All right, are you ready for the fun part? We are going to just do the pattern calls for
Flat
invisible.
bottom girls, you make the crochet bowl stand straight. What?
Hey, that's always welcome. That's another great song. We are just popping out tunes and classics all night.
There you go. There you go.
We'll be here all night.
What if, Lou? We're just messing around with you. We didn't mean anything by that. We're good. Next, ladies.
So, the next round is going to be 4. So basically, we're going to think of it in reverse. So we started with single crochet, or we started with increase, then single crochet, increase, then 2, then 1, then 3,
Wait,
then 1.
hold on.
So now,
repeat.
Okay, so when we were building our bee, I'm just giving you some behind the scenes. We are going to reverse it pretty much. So think of it as when you started with 6 single crochets.
Oh.
And then you did an increase round, and then you did 1 increase, or 1 single crochet, 1 increase. 1 single crochet, 2, or 2 single crochet, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1.
Yep.
So now we are closing up the bee So we're going to start with 4 single crochets, and then we're going to do a decrease. And a decrease sounds weird, but it's nothing. So what you're going to do for a decrease, get your 4 single crochets in there first.
Okay. So 4
Mhm.
single crochets, and I gotta go. I had to turn it because I turned my bag thing around. So 1. Wait, should I keep working from the other way and then turn it? Well, we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I do like the stitching this way better. This is nice. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's 4.
Okay, and so we are going to do the decrease now. And what you're going to do is, when you start your single crochet, you pop your hook in. What you're going to do
Mm-hmm.
is you're going to pop your hook into the next stitch. So pop your hook in,
Mm-hmm.
yarn over, and then
Okay.
pop your hook into the next stitch,
Okay.
yarn over again.
Coming in from the back or from the front, like I did the other one?
You're going to go through the whole stitch, just like
So I
Does
went down top. I went through the stitch. I yarned over, and
Yep.
then do I bring it around and now I go through it from the front again? Because that's really
yes,
tight.
the front.
Okay,
Yes, just
got
like you
it.
would a regular one. And then, so you should have 3 on your hook. Do you have 3 on your hook now?
Well, I have plus what was there before. There's 4. So I've got what was there before when I started a single crochet, plus the first stitch, the yarn over, and then the second stitch.
Let's start over.
Here.
Let's start over.
Okay. So
Sorry.
here I have my yarn on my hook, right?
Yep. Then what you're going to do is you are going to pop your hook into the next stitch, yarn over,
Yep.
pull through. Then
Pull
you're going
through.
to go,
That's
sorry,
I pulled
like
through.
pull back. And then you're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and you should have 3 stitches on your hook at this point.
Yes, I have
Okay,
that.
perfect. Then you're going to yarn through again, and you're going to pull through all of those. So now you should
Yarn
have
through. You mean yarn over and pull through all of them?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Sorry.
got it. Okay. I did
And
it.
so you should have 1 now.
Yep.
On your hook, and then now you're going to
Yep.
do your 4 single crochets like you normally would. So
1, 2, 3, 4. And now let me see if I can remember how to do that. Woo! All right. We're going to
you got
go in the stitch, yarn over, pull through, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3.
perfect. Bam, bam.
Perfect.
Thank you.
4
got it.
decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in, yarn over, pull through, into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3.
Perfect.
In, yarn over, pull 1. Whoops. 2, 3, 4. Now we decrease. In 1, in 2, close it up. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decrease 1. Okay, that's pretty easy.
Yeah,
That is totally nothing.
exactly. Nothing to be afraid of. And if you end on a
1,
decrease, then you're in good shape.
2. I just forgot to mark that. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, where is that starting at? I need to pull this out. I need to find where my first, where did I start decreasing at?
It's
I
kind of
don't
hard for
know.
me to show since my yarn is different, but you should see some deviations in your pattern. Do you see how on mine it goes from like a regular round, and then there's this weird little shape here created with the stitch change, and then there's another deviation. Man, this is hard to, it's all mirrored on here.
Don't worry about it. I think I see it because I see where it's gone up. It's a little bit
Yeah.
taller.
Uh-huh.
So we're just going to mark that so I don't have to think. I think this is where I started. Okay. I can see where those stitch markers become helpful.
Oh yes, especially just for that first stitch, because you're like, it's less counting,
Mm-hmm.
counting back at least.
That was a decrease. Okay, so don't pause. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease here and here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. So in here, and then in here, and pull through all 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease 1 and 2. Okay.
Is that the end of your round?
No, I think I'm about halfway. I'm getting close though. 1, 2. Lavina says their colors are gorgeous. Thank you. 3. It's going to be a beautiful football. 4. And then decrease in here. Decrease here. Pull through all 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then decrease here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Moment of truth. I'm approaching. Am I going to end on a decrease? I think I am. 4. Yup. Decrease here and decrease here. And then pull through. And now where should I, if I wanted to move the stitch marker, would I move it to that stitch that I just made from that decrease?
No. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull it off, and then you're gonna start your next round is gonna be 3 single crochet decrease. So what you're gonna do is
Okay.
you're gonna take the marker out, do your single crochet, and then put the marker on that stitch that you made, and that will signify
Okay.
your first stitch of each round.
Okay. So that's the first one that I just made. Put my stitch marker on it right here. And now we go. So that's 1, 3, and then decrease.
Yes.
2, 3, decrease here, 1. This live stream's how loud can Becca count? 2.
Well, it reminds me of like, you know, when you're trying to count and people are trying to always be funny when you're trying to count, because of course, when's the best to be
Right?
funny when you're like 7, 8, Q, R. And so I'm trying to do my thing and I hear you counting and I'm like, wait, what stitch was I on?
Susan, you're out, wants to know if I'm going to try acrylic yarn soon. I actually did buy some acrylic yarn to do this with, but I didn't want to open it. So I think after I do my test one of this, I'm going to try doing acrylic yarn with these because I think those colors are gorgeous. They feel very nice. One, 2, 3, decrease 1, decrease 2. There we go. 1. Oops, come on. 2, 3. Decrease
Halo
1 and
says,
2.
I cannot watch a basketball game and crochet at the same time. Too many numbers flying at you. LOL.
I could understand that. 1, 2. Oops. 3. Decrease here.
You're almost done. You're so close.
1.
There's only like 3 more rounds and you're done with your
2.
football.
3. Decrease 1. It's starting to get a little tight around the top.
Yeah, it does. Is yours getting tubular?
1.
Tubular?
Tubular awesome, dude. 2.
That's what it means. Tubular.
3.
I'm just sitting here
Decrease.
going, what's the squeaky sound? The squeaky sound is my yarn because I'm keeping the tension super, super so each stitch is like squeak, squeak, squeak. I'm driving Heather and Dana crazy with my squeaky yarn. Maybe Beth's dog has a squeaky toy.
Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3.
The funny thing is I've had this bag of polyfill. It's such an obnoxious bag of polyfill. It's huge. Austin
Yeah.
had just started quilting and I was like, Austin, I really need batting. So when you go to the grocery store, can you pick up some batting, please? And he's like, yeah, sure. And at that time, I was testing out what batting I liked. I was going between polyfill and the warm and natural, and he came home with this giant bag of polyfill fill, and it had like popped open in the parking lot, and he was like, it opened up and there was just fluff flying everywhere, and he was trying to like
Oh my
gobble it up.
gosh.
So I, for the longest time, had this bag of polyfill filling. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this as a quilter? And so when I started crocheting and doing amigurumi, I'm like, yes, yes. It was destined to be used at some point. So I have 50 ounces, over 3 pounds of this stuff.
So I have decreased. I ended that row on a decrease.
Great. So then you're going to do one more before we get to stuffing.
Okay. So into
and
here.
can you guess what that round's going to be?
2 decrease.
Yep. Well, 2 single crochet, then decrease. Yes.
Yep.
Me too, Beth. My husband went and bought my polyfill 2-pound, 32 ounce. OMG, 50 ounces? That's worse. hey, but it's serving me well now. And I did use it. I tried to be, because I was like, I'm not going to throw it away or return it. I'm going to use it at some point in my life. And here we are. But I did use it to stuff like a dog bed. And I made pillows with foundation paper pieced patterns. I would turn them into pillows as like gifts and stuff. So I was trying to think of ways to use it. And then when I started Amigurumi, I'm like, wow, this was just meant to be, because there's no way I'm going to be using all of this polyfill with quilting. They thought it was my chair squeaking. Did the squeaking stop? Like, did it stop when I stopped crocheting?
Mhm.
That is the question.
It did.
Okay, good.
Yep, it did.
Maybe I'll stuff it.
Yes, stuff it real good.
I'm stuffing it. They tell you to, like, there's a certain way. They're like, you gotta, like, you want it firm, but not too firm. Like, how are you supposed to know firmness? Like, come on.
Are you waiting for me?
No. I just do this whenever I'm down here. I always, your sound effects, I do, like, weird, like, little music sounds, like da-da-da-da. Like, whenever I make a video, I have to edit it out, because I'll be, like, filling the silence with some beat bopping. If you only need a small amount of filling, I grab one of those $3 pillows at Walmart, or recycle an old one that's flattened out, but cut it up with my rotary cutter first. That's a really good idea. I have not.
That's actually what I have, a pillow that I have been rescuing fluff from because I don't have any polyfill.
It's resourceful. I feel like quilters are one of the most resourceful people out there. Using t-shirts and baby clothes and linen and sheets and old curtains. Like, we can pretty much make up anything with anything. I think that's really cool.
Katie says you could make a puff quilt.
I have never made a puff quilt before. Have you?
No, I want to. I think it would be a lot of fun. Why?
There's so
I think
many
they could be easy. I think it'd be all right.
I do want to try. It kind of makes me think, because it's like all in rows. It makes me think of this technique where you use fusible interfacing, and you use like 2.5 squares or whatever size square, and you fuse it on there, line it up, then fuse it, and then you fold it in half and you sew that 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that's how you can come up with like a stitch stamp quilt without going row by row by row. I think that would be really cool to try too. I don't know how I got from puff quilt to that, but the lines made me think of it. These are stuffed.
I am decreased.
All right. Did you do your 2? You did the round with 2? And okay. So now you're going to stuff it. So grab your quilt scraps, and we are going to stuff this thing full.
Hold on. I have a better idea. I was going to put quilt scraps in, but I have a better idea. Because I do have a pillow that needs rescuing.
Yay.
Where did it go? Where did it go, George? Where did it go?
You'll never rescue me. What if I don't want to be rescued?
Oh, you want to be rescued.
I think that's pretty good. Doo-doo. I've been planning one for my grandson, but it won't be squares. Oh, that's gonna be cool. What shapes are you thinking of? Thinking outside of the box, literally.
This is very expensive polyfill that doesn't have a cover. We're going to use it.
Ooh. Rip her up. Oh no. Get it back on my hook, yarn. The squeaking returns.
Gotta make my football.
That's going to be the prettiest football I've ever seen.
Every time
like
you see it sitting on the shelf behind me, you'll be like, I know what that is.
The football. What do you think about Amigurumi so far? Do you like it? Is it something that you're going to try? Sure.
Yeah, it will be. I think this will be a lot of fun. Now that I've made something three-dimensional, this is, I mean, I wasn't coming away with this knowing that I was going to make a bumblebee, because honestly, I think that would have been too much for me tonight. I just needed to tackle making something three-dimensional.
Yeah.
And I'm okay if it just looks like a little ball. Like, that's okay too. Like, it honestly looks like a little ottoman. And that's okay. Okay, so now that I have it stuffed.
So now that you have
What's
it stuffed, you're going to do single crochet, then decrease. So 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, all the way around.
Okay.
I
can't remember which direction to go.
You're going to be always working, you're going to be traveling to the left. Like you're going clockwise, if that, in your circle.
Yeah, this has to be over here. Okay.
I think the magic ring is the hardest part of this whole thing. Once you get that set up and you start building on the magic ring, it's just it's mindless. You just have to do some counting. But that magic ring, ooh, it's a doozy.
Well, I liked chaining 3 and then single crocheting 6 into that second one and then just going. That actually worked really nicely.
Yeah. And there's really not that big of a difference because like
oh man,
amigurumiers, I don't know if there's a better word for them, but they say that the magic ring versus the chaining 6 or whatever number that magic ring starting out at, they say that the magic ring closes more. So I think that's why it's an option, because you can tug that yarn all the way closed, and with the other it just leaves a little bit of a circle open, which isn't a big deal because usually the circles are on the bottom or somewhere where it's not seen as much in your project, if that makes sense.
It does.
I don't think that it really matters because you're gonna have a football, so as long as you it.
It'll be fine. I can still throw it. It'll be great. The yarn keeps coming off of the hook.
Yeah, these last couple rounds are hard to keep it like tense but not falling off. But you're so close. You're almost done. Your first amigurumi. She makes amazing patterns. She has a bunch of fun things on there. And if you don't want to just do amigurumi, she even has really cool scarf patterns. Her scarves are unlike any other scarf I've ever seen before. Like, they are very interesting patterns. Her other like granny squares and stuff like that. I did make her whale. The whale was fun.
Oh, I love whales.
And he's got like a flat bottom. So.
Flat bottom whales, they make the crochet world go round. Heather H wants to know, do you do amigurumi commissions?
I have not, Heather. Not yet, at least. I don't think I have the skill set to. I would be too worried. But if you are hinting at something, I'll definitely just make you something because you're my friend.
Yeah, like the whale, because the whale is amazing.
Here. Do you like a blue whale?
I love whales and dolphins. They're my favorite.
I think that's funny because I remember that night I came on. You're like, "Do you have a dolphin tattoo? Is that a tattoo or a dolphin?"
you? And I'm like, I so wish it was. Because you were so like, oh my gosh.
I was enamored. All right, I have single crocheted my way around. Now what?
You mean single crochet decrease all the way around?
Ribbit,
Ribbit.
ribbit, ribbit.
So yeah,
Okay.
we're going 4, 3,
Look,
2, 1.
Okay. That was
It's
a
good,
single
it's good.
crochet. Now let's decrease.
You know
We
what
can do
meme
this.
you just
Oh,
had? What meme moment you had? You know the picture of like the dog and he has like a cup of coffee and like the house is on fire behind him. He's like, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm
It's
fine.
fine.
It's
It's
good.
fine. It's
It's
totally
good.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Wes wanted me to make him a baby Yoda and bought me all the supplies, and it's still in the bag from Michael's. Heather, I'll attempt it. There might be some wonkiness happening, but I will attempt it for Wes. I will definitely, well, for you to give to Wes. And you hush. You do have the skills. I was thinking if you enjoyed this, Hooked by Robin, she has a pattern for a pumpkin, and we can make a pumpkin
Ooh.
this fall. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
a
it would
pumpkin.
be. Let's do a pumpkin. I feel like I just made a pumpkin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you've already done the
It looks so
Just
good.
go get me some orange yarn.
That looks really good.
I mean, my very
right? So fun.
beautiful ball looks amazing. It's not a bumblebee. It's a ball. Let's just be real. It's a knapsack. We're going to play hacky sack in the front yard with this. Yeah, decrease. 1. Decrease.
Squeak, 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 squeakers.
Squeakity squeak squeak. Squeak squeakity squeak.
There's a movie with
Okay.
that. Squeakerty squeakers. What is that? Now I'm gonna
Okay,
think of the movie.
I've got my single decrease.
Okay, and
which
so now
looks really good.
you're gonna do decreases all the way around. So in every single stitch, you're gonna do a decrease.
Okay, but first we're going to put some more polyfill in there.
Yes. Stuff the butt.
Stuff the butt. Put it in through the butt. That did not sound good. Okay.
Flagged. We're flagged.
Flag.
We're not going to be taken off for singing songs. We're going to get flagged for saying.
I mean, but
stuff
that is the butt. Put it in the back. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it in the back. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit more. I like it big. I like big butts.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. Other girls deny. When a girl
All
walks in with
right.
your face and one thing in your face, you get bumblebees.
Okay.
I'm liking this.
Decrease
So
all the way around, she says.
Yep, all the way around. And when you're done, let me know.
Okay. Okay. Stitch mark that so I know where I'm going. So, whoop, whoop, whoop. In 1, 2.
I'll leave this so I can show you how to do it.
Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Teresa says she's made 4 pillowcases today.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to make some. I liked making pillowcases. I want to make some matching ones for the quilt that we have in our guest bedroom. 2. Okay. Woof.
Are you
Woof,
putting wings
girl.
on your Are you putting wings
Nah.
on your football? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make some wings real quick so that I can
Okay.
be all caught up.
Fancy, fancy.
Did you get through your round?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now what you're gonna do is slip stitch into the next one. So you're going to put your hook through, yarn over, and then pull through all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to cut your yarn, pull your hook out, all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to get a darning needle or a needle that you can put your yarn through. Attach it, put it
Okay.
on there. And then you're going to go around. So you should see a circle, and you're just going to go like in one stitch, out the other. And you're going to go around in a circle. And then I wish I could describe that better, but you're going to go into your next stitch and then up, and then you're going to make like a square almost. You're going to find a way to stitch it closed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but this hole is very big.
You can do it. Just start
Okay.
stitching, and then it'll close up, and just be tight.
Okay, so I cut my thread. I pull this all the way through?
Yep, and you leave okay, hold on. Let me see. So pull that loop, pull it all the way, like from the loop side, pull that through. Bam.
Okay.
And then put that on a needle of some sort, or
Okay.
perfect. Da-da. It only works if your tongue's sticking out. It's like your mascara face. You're putting your yarn on the okay. And so then you're gonna stitch. You're gonna like go into the V and go up. I'm trying to think of like a way to describe it. You're gonna go into the next stitch next to where you are right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then stitch into the next one, and then like pull it through. I wish there was a good way to describe it. You're just gonna go around in a circle, and
But all I'm
eventually,
doing is weaving this in. It doesn't feel like it's closing anything. I'm just wrapping it around the stitches.
well, no, yeah,
I'll keep going.
I'm trying to think of a way to describe it because I'm.
It's fine.
Do you do hand sewing at all?
No,
Hey,
no.
Look, that kind of got a little bit.
Yeah, I changed what I was doing.
Yeah. There
Instead
you
of
go.
going, I go into the stitch and I go up
Yes.
through the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, that
sorry.
actually makes a
terrible
lot
at
of sense.
hand stitching. I'm terrible at it.
That's
This
okay.
is like
So I'm doing like this type of action here.
yes. Do you see
It
it
closed
closing
it
up?
up. It's all
Yay.
closed.
Okay.
This
So
is
now
just
you made
fuzz
it all
that
the
I
way
sewed into it.
around your
That's fine.
circle. Now you can just with your yarn stick it into your shape, and since you don't have a face or wings or anything, it doesn't matter where you come out. You are at, let's see, so I stuffed mine and pushed it through. It's like coming out the face end, so just stick it in, yep, and then just find a place to exit out. And then what you're gonna do is take it off your needle, make a little knot.
I can't take it off my needle.
Keep pulling, pull hard.
No, like you don't understand.
Oh. What happened there?
There we go. That's fine. It's totally
It
fine.
worked.
Now I'll take it off my needle. Totally fine. Look, now I just
It's
got this
fine.
little thread. Now what am I doing with my thread? It's
So
fine.
you're gonna
It's
make
totally
a
fine.
little- It's an ornament. It's an ornament. It's great.
Do you like my big ball?
It's perfect. Hey, that's like a really
Thank you.
oversized hacky sack or something. You can kick it around.
It does, and it's so flat. Like boing 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 boing.
I think it's
But
cute.
it's 3D. It's
It's a need
3D.
squish. It's so cute. I will say, I like to keep things like my firsts. This is the first magic circle that I ever got right, and it hangs up like a little ornament on my pegboard wall. That is the
Very cute.
first magic ring, and it just hangs up here.
Well, this is going on my Christmas tree.
Yay! People be like, "Wow, that's a really nice ornament."
I'm not trimming this. This is how it's going to hang.
I think it's perfect.
Wait,
If you
hold on.
were-
Hold on. Hold up your bee. Show everybody your bee. Welcome to this episode of Nailed It. Do you like my bee?
I think it looks amazing.
It's not a bee, but it is
great.
cute.
It could be a bee if it wanted to be a bee. It's a good bee. It's a good starting off point. You made a 3D shape. You should be proud of yourself. And it's an ornament.
You know what this is for?
Your Christmas crafting.
What'd you make? I don't know, but it's fun to play with. It's a crocheted yo-yo.
Can you do that with a scarf? I say no.
No, I think not. I think not. But seriously though, what was I supposed to do with this?
Well, so what you do is you make a little knot, and are you going to keep it as an ornament? Are you?
I think I want to. I think I'm going to tie a little knot so it's a little loop, and it's just going to be an ornament. And people are going to be like, "What is that?" I'll be like, "None of your business."
You say it's a bumblebee. What do you mean? Don't you see it?
What do you mean? Don't you see it? You don't get it? Whatever.
Definitely a bumblebee. I see a bumblebee. It's a bumblebee.
I see wings. I see a butt. I see a face with a smile on it. What do you see?
4, 5. Let's see. I think that looks a lot better than what I came up with my first time. Oh man.
Oh, that's not true. Okay.
It didn't even pass the ball.
It's a necklace.
Right. Ooh, that is very nice. Very chic. Where'd you get that?
Nailed it.
We need to do the Mean Girls. Oh, I love your necklace.
Where'd you get it?
Where'd you get it? Oh, my mom made this for me in Africa.
It's so fetch.
Oh, that's so fetch. Stop saying fetch, Gretchen. We're not going to make it happen. Fetch is not a thing.
It'll never be a thing. How do you feel? How like sum up your experience. Did you have a good time?
I did. Here's where I'm sitting with this right now. So when I started off, I feel like my stitches were really good. But when I got over here, I think I got mixed up and switched directions a couple of times. So some of the stitches at this end are a little bigger and they're a little tighter over here. And I also know I picked up or dropped an extra stitch somewhere along the way because I wasn't ending the way I should have. So I know that the bottom is wonky, but I'm tired and I've been through a lot of trauma this evening. Not trauma, it's been fun. I've built a 3-dimensional object, which is my very first time doing that. I feel like this reminds me of a hacky sack, ginormous. It'll be a good little thing to play fetch with the dog I don't have. But I'll probably actually give it to my daughter to be like a little stress ball. We can toss it around. But this is I conquered making something 3D stuffed and closed, which is a building skill that I need to do some of those other things. So what would I do differently next time? I would crochet a little bit tighter. I'd use a smaller hook, and I'd pay closer attention to the end.
The ending is hard though because you're getting smaller and it's so hard to keep it tight, like the tension tight. Wow, because like you said, you were experiencing it falling off your hook as well. It's really hard at the end. So I think overall you did a wonderful job. Looks really
I would
good.
definitely do this again. I would definitely do this again. And I may even venture into the world of getting some easy amigurumi patterns and giving them a try because I'm not intimidated by this. I will say I feel like um I feel like making this into a bowl instead of maybe decrease one round and
Mhm.
then give yourself like a casing of some sort and maybe thread a ribbon through it.
Oh,
And so that you, like, weave a ribbon into the stitches and then
Yeah.
knot it so that you can cinch it closed, and I think that would be a super stylish little satchel that you could use to put, like, your wonder clips or something in.
That's cute. I like that. That could even be like a good gift bag situation with like Christmas
Yeah.
or like something small things. That's really
Mhm.
cute.
yeah. I'm
What if Lou said, "You've inspired me to pick up a crochet hook when I visit my mom today. I haven't crocheted since I was maybe 10. I crocheted too loose." I do too, and it still worked out. So don't let that intimidate you. Beth, are you going to put a stinger on your bee?
Um, I could. The pattern doesn't have one. I did on my first one.
Zoe's done a number on it, but I kind of like poked the butt out a little bit like this to make it look like a stinger. But yeah, I still have wings to make, but I might make them another time because I sewing things on to amigurumi, that's the hardest part for me because I can't hand sew to save my life. So whenever I do this, like look at this sewing job. I'm trying to find the
Oh,
best
that's so
like
cute.
it's not I don't know how to do it invisible. Like I just kind of
It still
wing
looks
it
cute.
and I just start stitching things in. I'm like, it's attached. Good. Boom.
Yep.
do a black
All
stinger.
right. It is 11:17 and I normally try to end the live at 10. So we went a little long tonight. But I
I'm
have a finished project. No, 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 no. You're okay. You're totally okay. It was definitely worth it. I am going to set this on my shelves and maybe later my daughter will want it. I actually think, if nothing else, it's just really pretty yarn to look at, right? And you get to see all that nice little stripy stripe. By the way, I did learn that this is called striping yarn. So there's a
Oh.
difference. Variegated yarn is like this, like variegated
Mhm.
thread. Stripy yarn is meant to do like this type of thing where it does a certain color and only
Yeah.
that color for a long period of time and then you go to the next color. So
I,
that's a thing that I learned.
I learned it too. You just taught me. So I learned something
Yeah.
tonight as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think this should have been stuffed a little bit more, but that's okay. I love it. It's great. And I'm going to try more. And I got to tell you, we're going in to see my in-laws in the morning. We're going to go spend the day with them and my sister-in-law crochets beautifully. I feel like everybody in my family crocheted except for me. And I haven't even told her that I've been playing with yarn and crochet hooks. So I feel like I want to show up with a hook and a little skein of yarn and just be like, "Hey, what's up?"
You should. That'd be so cool. You should just like throw her the ball with, and she's not looking. Be like, oh, what was that? Oh, I made
Oh, I have no idea. Oh, I made that. I made that.
that. I think that'd be great.
All right. So before we end the live stream tonight, I just want to go check out really quick. I want to see where you're at, Beth. I think I heard that you were at 389
Whoop, whoop.
subscribers, and I'd love to see if we can get you up a little bit. Da, 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 da. We're gonna go look because I'm just curious now. Do, 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 do. Hmm. Gotta find it. Where'd you go? There it is. 390. You might break 400 sometime over the weekend. So that's
Yay!
awesome. Yay.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I am going to bed.
Yep. Thank you for having me. I had a great time. If you want to make a pumpkin this fall, let's make a pumpkin. I had a great time.
Sounds great. That sounds great. All right,
Get some
guys. Thank you
sleep.
so much for hanging out. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Wait, you've got mail.
Yeah, gotta go watch You've Got Mail. I'll talk to you later.